And
We live. Hello, world.
hello.
How's it going, Elric?
What up?
Welcome to the party.
Guitar solo.
You were here before we even kicked off tonight. Welcome back, everyone. This is session 26 of Forbidden Lands: The Hanging Stones. When last we left our heroes, we are in the catacombs beneath the city of Stonegarden, where the party has come and sold a lot of things, rested in the inn, and it seems to be not business as usual in the city as foreign dignitaries are arriving for the Festival of the Veneration of the Earth. The party looked upon the lavish Stonegarden itself, which is an indoor forest of gemstones and intricately sculpted stone formations of vibrant colors, filling a vast cavern high up in a mountain far on the northern reaches of the Dankwood. There appears to be a parade of foreign royalty arriving in the city, one by one, and including King Turek of the Belduranian dwarves, who is sickly looking and huge and being carried into the city on the backs of many dwarves. He's here with his children and heirs. We are also, the city's also being visited by Arvia of the Chrome clan, who has been making boisterous speeches about wanting to take the dwarves and go reclaim some lost dwarven fortress.
Very successful conversation with her.
Very successful.
It went in circles for about 15 minutes.
We have just made our way down to the catacombs. Some of the party. I think one or two people hung behind, but I don't remember who off the top of my head.
You brought us all down there, didn't you?
Yeah,
We're all
went
down there.
Everybody did? Okay.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
party
we all
followed...
went down there. Some of us are just more towards the front.
Oh, yeah,
the
one or
back.
two people ran to the front.
I'm right up there.
There was a ruckus near the gates at the base of the catacombs as some gelatinous dwarves paraded in through a narrow crack in the gates to the deeps. They oozed their way through and then formed out into the shape of pale-skinned dwarves with slightly enlarged eyes. They were greeted with some excitement and hospitality by the king of the Canide dwarves here in the city. They were welcomed warmly. They seem to speak in signs, which the king is struggling to interpret, and they seem to be indicating that something is going down. Something is going wrong down below, and that's about where we left off. We're all still gathered around in this crowd, listening to the king slowly interpret their strange, cryptic message. Who was it that ran to the front of the crowd?
That me. I dog. Wolf.
Ralgar, you're going to get a good look at these. Why don't you make a lore roll real quick?
Yeah, let's do that. I mean, why not? I'm rolling a 7 here. Yeah, look at that.
Triple
I know
success.
everything.
Oh my
there isn't
god!
a quadruple success. There isn't a single thing. I guess I got a skull.
You see these
He knows well the dwarves that are here.
You catch a glimpse of these pale-skinned jelly dwarves squeezing their way through the gaps in the doors, and you know exactly what you're looking at, but you thought these were merely a legend. According to dwarven legends, the earth has been built up by dwarves it started as just a tiny core, and all of the earth that you stand upon was built and summoned into existence by the dwarves, whose holy task is to keep building up the ground until it one day reaches the heavens. And you know that in the realms that used to be the dwarven realms, deep, deep, deep beneath the earth, there are said to be a race of strange dwarf-like creatures who they see as precursors or ancestors, known as the Dwelvers. Some dwarves refer to them as the Forefathers, and you've heard them described as pale-skinned with large eyes and able to squeeze through cracks in the earth, as they've adapted over many years to be able to travel through impossible places to reach the parts of the earth far down below.
How amazing is that? You're confronted with an obstacle and you're like, I'm going to teach myself to Alex Mack my way through the cracks in the earth so that I can continue thriving.
How long does it take to evolve that ability? I'm going to go with a hot minute. Although you've got gods to, intervene and nudge things along. I think the god of the dwarves would grant them this power. Although I don't know, we've heard some rude things about the god of the dwarves. Remember your balloon friend?
No.
Yeah, he was none too happy with Huge, the god of the dwarves.
Yeah, look what happened to him. I'm just saying, heresy will get you nowhere.
It's true.
So I know they've evolved. Do I know anything of their language or the way to or their customs?
With a triple success, you're still not going to know how to speak their language, but you will know.
What about a quadruple success? Because that's what he got.
But I'm giving him pretty much the maximum information he could reasonably know. He's read up on them because for whatever reason. But you know that the dwarves view them with a great deal of veneration and respect, and that they mostly remain underground, and sometimes are said to have disdain for the dwarves of the surface, and vice versa.
Is seeing them like a once in a lifetime, once in a generation kind of thing, seeing a Dwelver?
For a non-dwarf to see a Dwelver is highly unusual. You weren't sure if they were just part of dwarf myth, but you've read enough about them that you were suspicious they might be a real thing. Unless the stories were just very, very elaborate and overblown.
Cool. All right, I got enough here. Okay, with as loud of a voice as I can, I turn around to our friends and I go, "Oh, guys, it's Dwellers! I didn't know they were real. I've never seen them before. Look!"
Do you guys know what a Dwelver is?
No clue.
They're like gooey dwarves.
That feels offensive. You can't talk to the king like that.
What did you say? I can't hear you.
I'm not going to shout treason in the middle of the dwarf crowd.
Treason? What? I'm
Hey,
just standing there
can
looking
you
at
get up there to Ralgar, please?
Yeah.
And I'll just kind of lower my head and start like tackle pushing my way through the crowd up to where Ralgar is.
Yeah, I think the rest of us follow because of that.
Sure. You're pushing your way up through the crowd. The dwarves there's actually a relative silence falling on this huge crowd all through the catacombs because this is sort of a sacred event and everybody's very transfixed. So Ralgar's voice is probably booming over everybody a lot. But the translation work that's happening is all sign language in the front, so you're not exactly disrupting the ceremony, even though some people might be shooting you slightly annoyed glances. And the king and queen of the Canide dwarves, who are both handsomely dressed, of a darker complexion than the other dwarves, and wearing black and gold all over. The king has black and gold armor, and the queen has long, flowing black and gold embroidered robes. The two of them are up at the front of the crowd, bowing and nodding and translating for the dwarves, and they are piecing together the message, and you get the vibe that the king is hastily translating. He's going, "They say that there is a rumble in the caves, a terrible rumble, that the rumble is rolling. The ruckus? Of course it's a ruckus. They said ruckus. This is ruckus. Yes. A ruckus. Danger? A danger down below. He's very hastily translating, and he's getting a lot of things wrong and backtracking, but he's trying to make a show of knowing their language and getting it right. So he's doing it kind of boastfully and messily as he's going. But they're standing in front of just these huge iron gates, delivering this message to the king. And what you piece together over the course of a few minutes is that they have come to the surface to issue a warning that something, a terrible beast imprisoned deep beneath the mountain, is about to break loose, and that the mountain itself is in great danger, that the caves are struggling to support the earth that's being displaced by this terrible forgotten beast, and that they require supplies and aid to go down and reinforce the beast's prison. Then there's a rabble in the crowd after this translation is done. The king thanks them for this message, and the royals begin conferring among themselves in a little blob up in the middle of the crowd, leaving you kind of out in the masses with an opportunity to discuss amongst yourselves.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Did it seem like the Dwellers could understand audibly what the king and all them were saying, or did they have to like respond in the sign language?
They seemed to understand dwarf language, but they were they uttered no sounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like to imagine everyone in the crowd is just looking at each other going, danger? Danger? Best sign ever. Danger?
Which would be great with
danger?
Would be great with jelly hands as they just like kind of flip and flap everywhere.
It really gets the point across.
You spoke to a dwarf near the entrance named Lodak, who was dressed in black robes, and he's in the crowd and sort of drifts over towards you. He says, "You picked quite a time to visit, haven't you?"
Yeah.
Poor dwarf.
This isn't part of the festival?
No, this is most unusual. We've not even had a visit from the Dwellers in nearly a generation.
Got it. So there's actual danger, like, in the caves below.
So they say. I've heard of no such thing.
Oh, didn't you? That's what they just said.
No, I heard them say it just now.
Yeah, okay. I was like, you hadn't heard it. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
What sort of things live in the caves below other than the Dwellers?
I cannot say. None go down there, because a dwarf who goes down into those caves, those are sacred grounds, and they are left to the ancient ancestors, and there's an agreement among all of the dwarven clans that none will trespass upon those holy places. In fact, to descend down into the old passages, a dwarf must forsake their clan entirely and be branded for life and exile from their own people.
Do they get turned into jelly like those dwarves?
I very much doubt it.
Oh, okay.
Are the Dwellers
Mike?
asking for help?
Mike,
It
check.
sounds like it, yeah. You sound fine, Adam. So the Dwellers are asking for help, and the king puts out a call to the crowd and asks if any brave heroes would be willing to venture down into the caves to assist the Dwellers in imprisoning this beast so as to bring peace to their caves and to settle the mountain upon its foundations. And there's crickets through the whole crowd. There's a lot of uncomfortable shuffling, and dwarves looking down at the ground and kind of nervously glancing at each other.
What sort of reward are we talking about?
Is there a reward for this?
Who speaks? Says King Karanax of the Canide clan. Part the way!
Wait, 1 second. Guys, huddle.
The crowd is quickly parting, leaving all of you standing in it and a bunch of dwarves pointing at you from different directions.
Kind of hard to huddle right now, Ralgar.
I know, but the last 2 times that we've gotten in big fights, I have pretty much died, and I don't have any more honey left. So
Who is
if we're
this
gonna-
furry mongrel who turns his back on a king?
You see my fur just stand up. Okay, I just wanted to say that. Vergello?
Yeah, well, we're a party of mercenaries that came in for the festivities today. Do you have a reward for a band of heroes?
We would not
Taking out-
send petty mercenaries down into the great caverns. And then, from the back of the crowd, your innkeep Reinhard says, "They slew Terramulda." And the king says, "Excuse me?" And he says, "They slew Terramulda, the patron saint of rust, and they brought her blade and armor here to our very city." He says, "No."
I have her helmet. Wonk.
Oh yeah, you still have that.
And I have the spike.
Can such a thing be true? Step forward. Let me see you in a better light.
Oh, but we're just petty mercenaries. Now you want to talk to it.
Do not test my patience, goblin.
Grunrock, I want to make
just-
a little bit of money.
Yeah, Gronok, come on.
I kick Grunrock forward towards them.
He says you would take up this task on behalf of the sacred calling of the Dwelvers? For what reason? You want a reward, you say? What constitutes a reward for you? A pile of gold?
Isn't that the typical reward? Was there something else you could do?
Or land holdings.
Ooh, that would be nice.
Land holdings.
Or like any super precious, like lost to time artifacts you might have.
No, we can't split those among us. I like the gold better.
Just
I
a
put my
thought.
paws in front of me and I tip my chin down and look up and I just go, "We would really like somewhere to live."
Somewhere to live. So a bunch of homeless mercenaries, is that it? You just want a house?
Well, more like a keep.
A stronghold.
Yeah,
Or like a
nice little
fortress.
stronghold, like a fortress. Build up our own family.
This is something we could
We would like for it
provide.
to be in like good condition. We've stumbled across some pretty bad ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, we blew one up too.
I could not offer such a thing directly, but and he gestures out into a far corner of the crowd towards the foreign royalty who have gathered over there, and he says, Bearwild of the Belduranians, and he points to the prince that was traveling with the huge foreign king, steps forward in his robes, and the king says, "What do the stone singers have to offer to these mercenaries in the way of a keep?" And he contemplates a bit and he says, "We could conjure such a thing. We've songs to spare." He says, "Very well. And in a place of their liking?" And he says, "If they would assist in this holy task, most certainly. We would gather the stone singers in a place of their choosing, issue forth an ancient song, and call up a citadel to rival any in these lands for them to dwell within."
Can we get that in writing?
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good.
Is that binding? That sounds
Do you
great.
question the word of a king?
No, I've lived a long time, sir. I like to get everything in writing.
You have to understand elves. After living a long time, they're very mistrusting of even other elves.
Well, there's a rabble all through the crowd, and he says, "All right. It sounds like these mercenaries have proven themselves, at least in local folklore, if the legends are to be believed. And if they're willing to volunteer for this dangerous task, and the stone singers will reward them in a way that they find pleasing, then I will not stand in their way. But I must say that if they make fools of themselves and of the dwarves while treading on these ancient grounds,
As he says that, Grunrock's like about to poke a Dwelver and goes,
A voice from somewhere behind you says, "I will join them." You turn around, and it is Arvia.
No!
He says, the king looks at her, looks back at you, looks at her, and says, "No." And she says, "I will join them. Why will you not send me? You know that I am clanless." And he said, "We all know well that you are clanless, Arvia." And she says, "So, let me tread upon these grounds and bring a good name to my former family. I will do this sacred task. And all of you," and she points out at the crowd, "will heed my bravery, and perhaps it will inspire some of you to stand up. Stand up for our people and reclaim our ancient lands. I will solve the problem in these caverns with the help of these visitors. And
You
you
don't
will
get
all
any-
heed that it was Arvia of Chrome who came on this day to lead you all forward to a brighter tomorrow." There's silence through
Listen
the
here,
crowd.
Arvia, you're not getting a cut, even in the tiniest piece of our stronghold. Not at all.
I want nothing to do with your stronghold. That is not at all why I am going.
Wonderful. Bring those Galdane riders you wouldn't shut up about.
The king is
Oh.
still in contemplation, and he says, "Arvia of Chrome, I will not stop you from going on this quest, I suppose, but you will be joined by one of our own. I shall send, And he's scanning out over the crowd, and a dwarf, a balding dwarf with slightly buggy eyes, and some tattered old leather armor and an old rusty axe, stands up and says, "I will go." And he says, "Lupendus Firm, the Merimanian," and he says, "I will go. I will take on this task." And the king says, "You are noble indeed, and I will not stop you. I will let you go. And Arvia, you will go on condition that Lupendus accompanies you." And she goes, "Fine, he can come along." And the king says, "Yes, he can come along, because I say he can come along."
Does
Listen,
anyone have any
listen.
better armor
Are-
for him?
Are we solving their problem, or is this like a protection mission for these two random people?
We have to not
I
disgrace
don't want to be
ourselves.
held,
Not disgrace ourselves. Kill the monster. That was the deal.
but we're not held responsible if they don't survive on their own will and might to get back up here. Is that correct?
The Dwelvers are madly gesturing.
Yeah. Let's just go.
And the king
The king-
says, "We will supply everything that has been requested, and you will leave on the morrow." The ancient sign means time is of the essence. And he says, we will gather all of the supplies, and we will provide everything that the Dwelvers have requested. And he starts rattling off kind of an inventory of things that they want. It sounds like they want materials for repairing whatever bonds are breaking down there. They want sleds loaded up with barrels of things and building materials, and they want it all escorted down. The king says that he will meet privately with those going on the expedition shortly.
Maybe over
At sunup.
dinner? Oh, okay. Over breakfast.
Very well. You may dine at the royal banquet table in the upper halls.
We graciously accept your honor, Majesty. Man, I love this food. Thank you. Bye.
I lean in.
Arvia nudges past you and says, "Less words, more bowing."
Less words, more bowing.
Bow. And I say bow every time I bow. Bow.
Every time you bow.
Bow. You have an opportunity to disperse and discuss among yourselves, including with any of the other named characters that have come up in this conversation, and you have
gonna
some
try
time
to-
to prepare before the royal banquet.
I'm gonna try to catch Arvia's sleeve as she goes by.
She spins around in a paranoid fashion like somebody that's been surrounded by assassins her whole life, and she goes, "Ah, oh, it's you."
Yeah.
She's got a huge scar across her face. She looks pretty badass. She's got like black braided hair, much lighter colored skin than the local dwarves, and people seem to give her a wide berth when she goes marching through the crowds.
So, is your entourage coming with us as well?
No, the dwarves in my entourage would not join because they will not give up their bonds of clan membership, and the Galdane riders traveling with me have no interest in venturing so far underground. They're on a holy mission, and that is all.
Well, I was hoping for some more cannon fodder, but fair enough. I guess I can't blame them.
What is your name, little dwarf?
Little dwarf.
Oh,
What?
sorry. What is your name, little goblin? I got this.
Grunrog. I thought we've been through this already.
Oh, you met her already.
Yeah.
I understand
sorry.
you run into a lot of goblins, but I tend to think myself a little memorable.
And as I say that, one eye just goes like off to the side and then comes back, snaps back real quick.
She says,
You
"How
are
did I-
memorable, buddy.
How did I know when I first looked upon you that you would end up entangled in my business somehow?"
Hey, you didn't volunteer first.
Yeah, we were the brave ones.
You're saying that I am not brave? Do
No,
you
no,
know
just
the
not
paths
brave
I
enough to
fought?
go say, "You put your paw up first." Oh, you don't have paws. Never mind.
I haven't time to explain myself. I will see
Well,
you all.
go get your beauty sleep or whatever. We'll see you in the morning.
That
And I'll
you
just
will.
like whip around and cut her off.
And you'd best pray to whatever
Yeah.
gods you serve that you make it through this journey to enjoy your precious prize.
Yeah, we
Don't
will.
worry. The
You
Nightwalker
smell
will hear
nice.
about it.
Yeah, you tell her, Grunwell. You nice smelling pretty lady. Bye.
She's not going to touch that one. She's just going to go marching off. All right. You got a bit of time. If there's anything you want to do, we can fast forward straight to a royal banquet if you like. But if you want to talk to anybody or prep in any way before going, have at it first.
I can level
I
something
need
up, right?
torches.
You can level something up in the evening quarter day, yeah?
Okay.
Unless it's something that takes. So what if it's something that is that you're getting like level 2 in a talent? It doesn't take a quarter day. You can just get it.
Okay, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, okay. Blacked up my voice. Okay, yeah, you guys know I like to carry torches, but I bet they're gonna have a whole sled full of torches. Why spend our money when we could just take some?
I do have a D8 of torches, but I have some torches.
Oh yeah, because I gave you mine because I didn't want to hold them anymore.
Yeah, I will not be able to hold on to them while holding a bow, though. So if we do end up needing them,
You make your way back up to the marketplace where Dahlia and Lynn hung behind, and there's just a huge parade of people traveling with you upwards, and Dahlia is going to walk out of the inn and be like, "What's this about you all being local heroes? You fight a battle
who said-
already?"
who said local heroes? We're I guess we're going down into the dwarven caves below to fight a monster in exchange for a nice little stronghold citadel.
Excuse me? That sounds dangerous. You're
Well,
going
you know.
below the mountain to fight a monster?
Isn't
Is there an arena down there? What's going on?
There's
Oh, yeah.
jelly dwarfs.
We don't know anything, but guess what? They said they'd give us a keep. They said they'd sing us a keep out of the ground. I don't know how singing would make it work, but we're gonna get our keep. If
So
I
I
don't
guess
die.
I'm on babysitting duty then, she says.
Unless you wanna come.
No.
You have a baby?
Lynn is sleeping in the corner. She just looks over towards her.
Oh. If you're
Oh,
babysitting,
yeah.
no drinking.
Oh, way to take the fun out of it for her.
Are you kidding? Like, Lynn is like on the edge. Like, Dahlia, please, just.
All right.
Just
I'll babysit this demon child
Be
while you
safe.
go down under the mountain. But when we get our own castle or whatever, I want a keg of ale all to myself. And
We
a
will open up a
comfy
brewery
bed.
and name it after you.
with feathered pillows and
Well,
silk sheets.
I will steal you.
We'll shove a
as
whole chicken in a
many
pillow for
feathered
you.
pillows that you want.
Oh, by the way, if the Silverware's good at this dining thing, just saying, they might not miss it if we're at the nice table. I don't usually promote
mean,
stealing, but
I'm way ahead of you, buddy. Way ahead of you.
Vergello.
Also,
I'm so proud of you.
Dahlia, if you see, and I doubt he would come, but if you see Marigal here, try and get him to stay until we get back.
How am I supposed to do that?
ask.
Show him the
Ask.
bomb.
And I'll point at Lynn.
She's
Just
processing this request.
Tell him I'll make it worth his while if he stays. If he goes, then he goes. But I need him to get this magic out of the bomb.
Velas, do we want him to do the exorcism without us, or should we tell him to wait?
I really don't know.
I don't really
Ragars-
want to be there for it.
Raugar's hushed voice sounds like he was doing baby talk. Do we want him to get the magic out of him?
Hey, Vergello, you smell like... You still smell good too, but I don't like you saying that about me.
Sorry.
All right. So, is
No,
there
no,
anything else
no.
that you want to do before the banquet?
Yeah, I want to teach Vergello what wolf babies sound like. They don't sound like
Uh,
human babies. Oh, fine. I just storm off to the corner and put my
like-
tail between my legs.
I'm taking this as a no.
I like to
we
imagine that
roll-
we're having this whispered conversation as floods of people are moving around us. We're just awkwardly blocking the path.
Um,
Go ahead.
do we? Okay, just question for anyone: is there any supplies we need to buy? Anything we need to leave behind and not carry with us down? Into the mines. I
I'm
keep
on a
wanting to say mines.
D10 of food, D12 water, no torches because I gave you my D6. But I think there'll be plenty of torches with like the caravan that's going down there. We're not going by ourselves.
No, I'm just thinking of. I mean, I got a D12 of arrows. I don't know.
I mean, I've got 10 willpower, so
Daggone. Give me some willpower.
sure. I just have to like kill off a part of your body.
Really?
Josh, I'm gonna direct message you something I'd like to do that I want to keep a little secret.
Okay.
That's not terrifying.
I think there is like a general magic where you can transfer willpower. It has a
I-
cost.
I have
gonna-
I have a thing. I can do that.
I'm gonna keep all my possessions with me. I actually think I have at least one piece of honey lich flesh left. Unless my tally is incorrect. It looks like I still have one in my inventory.
I think you
you're the
still
only
had
one
one,
that does.
left.
You should.
I
Yeah.
think there's one total in the entire party, and it's yours.
Yeah.
Because
And I
everybody else
really
used
want to
theirs.
eat it. I want to turn into a puppy so badly.
I'll show you what wolf puppies sound like.
Just let me know whenever you message Amy, and I'll check it out. All right. So later
Yeah.
that evening, you are called to the high halls above the marketplace, and you're being led up a grand staircase into a palace carved straight into the mountainside. Things get more lavish and more fancifully carved and decorated to the point where the railings, the stairs, the walls, the ceilings, the edging all the way around is all these intricate carved runes that you have no time to process as you are seeing just depictions go by. And you make your way up eventually to a huge banquet hall. One entire side of the banquet hall is a balcony that's open to the caverns below, and when you walk on that side of the hall and look down, you're looking down into the Stonegarden gardens from above. You're way up in the top edges of the caves with a bird's eye view of the magnificent multicolored stone gardens down below, up in this lavish banquet hall. And you are guided to where your seats are assigned to be. You're sitting along one side of the table, close to the end of the table where the king and queen are sitting, very close to the head of the table, though they are absent as of yet. Many covered dishes are being carried out and placed on the table in preparation.
As they come out, I'm just sniffing each one and naming it. I'm like, oh, beef ribs. Oh, pork loin.
Except I have
spinach.
news for you. There's a lot of pretty unfamiliar smells going by. You're going, what is that? What? Ugh.
Yep, that's what I'm doing.
There's a lot of
God,
weirdness.
I've never smelled that before.
Okay. Sounds good, Amy. You got time to do that. You can mark it as done. All right, so, yeah, as the hall is slowly filling with these dwarven dignitaries, you're getting a lot of sideways glances from all of these foreign dignitaries and high society dwarves that are sort of sizing you up. Nobody actively hostile, but lots of curiosity and some slightly judgy glances. But everybody is very respectfully filing into the hall, making low talk among themselves, many whispers and mutters. And you guys as a group are approached by Berwild and Regalda, the son and daughter of that foreign king.
Of the Balderanians.
Yep, the Balderanians. The one of them, Berwild, in his long robes, is the stone singer who promised to build you a fort, and his sister, Regalda, is the other daughter of the king who's dressed in armor. And they are going to approach you together. And the son is quiet. The daughter, Regalda, says, "Pleasure to meet you, brave heroes. So you're going to be heading down there."
That's the plan.
My brother and I have a small request, if you might keep it discreet.
Oh,
Well, that generally costs extra.
Our brother, Trondeval, is absent these proceedings because he arrived several days before us. We've reason to believe that perhaps, seeking to prove himself, he may have slipped off in the ruckus and made his way into the deeps prematurely to try to be some sort of a hero. The reasons are not worth going into, but we are concerned for his well-being, and should you come across him, we could reward you for information or help convincing him to come home.
sure. Is there anything distinct? Crest, physical markings we can keep an eye out for?
She says that for a dwarf, he's a bit scrawny in build. He fancies himself some sort of a poet and scholar, and that he will be unlikely to be disguising his identity because they think perhaps he's going off trying to be a hero of some sort, and they're worried about his well-being and haven't been able to find him since all of this ruckus erupted. They will reach out and each hand you a gold piece. And they said that if you... So that's 2 gold to the party to divide however you want. And they say if you will find him and lead him to safety or bring us information, we will reward you equally again.
Okay, yeah, we'll keep an eye out for him. Is there any reason why our other, tag-alongs would not appreciate us doing this?
Um,
I understand discretion. I just
mhm. No reason to think that they would interfere. Bearwild, the son in the robes, is gonna say, who knows what Arvia will get up to? She's a troublemaker and a fool. And the sister says, she is very brave. She's a fierce warrior. She's fabled across the realms. And he goes, she's a fool. She will lead us to ruin if she rallies too many people to her cause. She says, I'm not going into this again with you, brother.
Can she not be both of those things at the same time? But I have a question, though. Has your brother been acting weird lately? Like, I know you said the reasons aren't important, but it's hard to convince someone to do something if you don't know what levers to push.
Yeah,
Is
I
there
can't-
anything you could tell us about him?
I can't imagine the artsy type willingly going down into these caves.
He sees the world as though he's gazing through rose-colored gemstones. He believes that all of the people can get along. He's obsessed with the elves, he's obsessed with the orcs. He believes everybody should just be united in harmony, even the humans. And I tell you this, he likes to gallivant around the Dankwood. He likes to go pay visits to elven settlements. He's obsessed with their culture. I've even heard that he's gone to visit orcs on more than one occasion. Orcs! Just living among them! How ridiculous is that?
I throw up a little bit.
Absurd.
No, he fancies himself some sort of peacemaker, some sort of poet that's going to show everyone that we can all unite in beautiful harmony. He's a fool, in other words.
Sounds like another dwarf with his head in the clouds.
+1 experience point. God damn it. Anyway, they thank you for your time. If you don't have any other questions for them, they're just looking for information or for somebody to be on their brother's side if you happen to stumble across him and they're suspicious that he might have snuck off.
Has he maybe acquired a strange piece of jewelry recently?
I'd know nothing about it. He hardly speaks to us.
Well, good to know. We'll do our best to find him.
For a
We'll keep
prince,
an eye
he's
out for him.
almost no interest in family. We can hardly keep him around.
We'll keep an eye out for you and
Okay.
let you know what we find.
Oh yeah, we'll keep him out of danger.
Okay. Soon, the king comes and sits at the table, and the banquet is served. They're going to uncover dishes, and oh boy, do you have a dwarven feast laid before you? You've got huge mugs of dark gray colored mushroom wine being poured in front of each of you. You've got some glowing little sculptures of cave plankton atop dried biscuits. You've got some sort of vegetable matter that they say are creeper bulbs. You've got and they uncover a huge tray in front of you, and it is a big pale slug about this big.
Oh no!
That's steaming a little bit, and they say, the blindworm roast, a true delicacy. You'll not find this down in the marketplace.
Do not find that down in my belly either. Mumbling under my breath.
It's all dwarven
Grunrock is
delicacies.
going to eat like he has never seen food before.
It's your favorite. It's incredible. It's all incredible. It's all rare dwarven delicacies. It's slimy. It's nasty. It reminds you of rolling around in mud puddles in your youth and eating worms and stuff.
And
Except
I am
way
not
better.
using silverware. I'm literally just hand over fisting.
These well-dressed dwarves sitting around you are basically doing the same thing.
I kind of figured they would be.
I'm sliding pieces of silverware that people are not using into my pockets.
I see. Oh, that's gonna be a roll. Hold on.
Passive perception.
Good lord.
Oh, wait. We already planned this ahead of time. Can I? Well, I think it requires a willpower. Never mind. God, come on! I need a willpower.
This is sleight of hand.
You don't have any willpower to give me?
No, I keep failing. I'm trying to fail and make mistakes, and I keep succeeding on all my rolls.
Damn it! I'm too good at everything.
Why am I so amazing?
This is such a bad idea. Go ahead and roll. Yeah, just steal from a king in the middle of his banquet. A king that's
I'm
gonna
hoping
give
that
you a
they'll be
stronghold.
distracted.
Yeah. Can I distract him?
This
'Cause
is how
I
it
kinda planned
ends.
this ahead of
You
time.
better start singing a song right now, Vergello. You're a bard.
I would just
I'll
start
push
talking
it if
to
I need to.
No, you got it. You slip a few pieces of silverware unnoticed, although at one point you have to pretend to sneeze when somebody gives you a sideways glance to cover the rattling sounds of something sliding down your sleeve, and then you're too afraid to continue, so you're going to get a few pieces of silverware.
Take note, people. DM thinks this is how we all die, but this is truly how we make money.
Yeah. 16 gold last session wasn't enough.
What could go wrong here, really?
We just got two more.
I just have to remember where I stole it from and don't repeat the Miss Baltimore situation.
All right, get to the page here. All right, the king will stand up and give a rousing speech to everyone present about these brave foreign mercenaries who have already slain a prophet of rust, who has plagued the land for more than a generation, and they will introduce you each by name, and ask you to stand and bow.
I
they'll
say
also-
bow while I bow.
They're also
Ow.
introducing Lupendus Firm and Arvia of Chrome. Arvia's gonna give just a huge flourishing bow before everybody. In her heavy armor, she never takes the axe off of her back either. And most of the nobles seem annoyed by her presence. They're kind of
Did I-
rolling her eyes and
Did I get
Alright.
introduced before her?
yes.
Darn. Okay.
Why were you gonna do something?
I was gonna mock her bow exactly,
Oh,
like big sweeping bow, and
Yeah.
let my hat fall off my head, mockery
No.
kind of thing.
I feel like after this, we're almost guaranteed. If we live, we're almost guaranteed to get a reputation increase, given this whole.
the two oh yeah, for sure. The two Dwelvers are sitting at the far end of the table from everybody, just quietly eating one of those big nasty pale slug things, just making lots of slurpy strange sounds while maintaining strangely intense eye contact with the king across the table. He occasionally looks at them and tries to put on a
You're
this is
here.
normal face. Yeah, oh,
In
look,
my
you're-
court.
There you are, being here. And the queen, Queen Solma, is going to stand up, and she has black braided hair pulled back in like a very tight, elaborate braid, is very well dressed, and very beautiful, with kind of a darker complexion. She's going to stand up at the head of the table and toast to these brave heroes, and then she's going to start recounting the details of the mission that have been agreed upon, and telling them to all of the foreign dignitaries present so that everybody can be apprised of the situation that's going on. And here's what she tells. You are being sent down below. The Dwelvers have not walked the old ways in a very, very long time. There are paths through old caves and old settlements that once were in the hands of the dwarves, that are now in various states of disrepair. The Dwelvers say that the beast that is slumbering below is causing a lot of instability in the caves. And the dwellers themselves do not take the old ways up and down from the surface. They travel through tiny, narrower cracks that only they can travel, that are much more direct. And so, but what they need is for all of these supplies to be delivered down through the larger, older caves. So they're going to guide you where they can and tell you what they know, but they are unfamiliar with many of these passages, except by word of mouth, legends, and occasional scouting expeditions that their people go on through some of these old caves. So you're going to be traveling through somewhat unfamiliar territory, even to these dwellers, who will accompany you, guide you to the best of their ability, and try to see you all the way to the bottom by the directions that they have brought. Yes.
Can we get like a can of paint so we can just mark the walls as we're going,
We'll get
so
to
we
that.
don't get lost?
I'm gonna
Okay.
get to supplies in just a second, and the answer is you're all gonna get to take whatever you want within certain limits. So yes, absolutely. Here's the equipment for the expedition. You're gonna be hauling 2 heavy sleds on runners coated with an enchanted metal that glides without friction. They have special brakes to keep them sliding down slopes so as not to run off. There are going to be 2 kegs each of glue, tar, lamp oil, fat, and drinking water, as well as a special lubricant. It's a word that you don't understand, and a dwarf near you translates for you and says, "It's made from mashed slugs. It's very, very slippery." You're going to be provided with provisions, which means everybody's just getting D12'd on food and water before you go down. You will not be able to bring any mounts along because the ways are too difficult. And any trade goods that you require, up to 1 gold. You can't have anything worth more than a gold in value, but any trade goods that you would like, as outlined on page 182 of the Player's Handbook, it says, you are allowed to take along. So that's like generic supplies of any of the major categories of things. Trade goods are all the things that you can keep stockpiles of in a stronghold. So, like, if you want a bunch of leather, if you want a bunch of stone, if you want a bunch of fish, if you want a bunch of whatever, you can basically all choose trade goods to haul as long as it can be carried and isn't excessively expensive. Paint can totally fall under what they're giving you, so you can have you can consider yourself to have as many buckets of paint as you want to haul. King Karanax is also entrusting the dwellers with a special and valuable substance. He attempts to speak to them in their language when giving it to them, and your dwarf translator is going to tell you it is a rare mineral diffundant. This is a substance that alters the properties of metal that is exposed to it, and it's going to be used by them to repair the damaged metalwork down below that they want to get you to, as part of the. It sounds like some sort of alchemical ritual that they're going to do down there from the way that they describe it. He is also offering the dwellers a coffer of gold coins that he unveils and has one of his servants carry to the dwellers, and they are given it, and the dwellers nod and they look at each other and they nod at the king gratefully, and they take the little coffer of gold coins and they both start rooting around in it and eating gold coins out of it.
Dang.
Making really unsettling crunching sounds, and then they close up the box, slip it under their cloaks, and nod thank you to the king. He's also sending some alchemical tin rope ladders that can be made as flexible as rope or as hard as steel, at will, basically, to help to traverse long gaps. And these are all the things that are being sent along. So you're going to have sleds loaded up with stuff, all of the personal supplies you want, and the Dwellers are being sent with a bunch of special supplies for themselves. The king describes this as a journey to the very heart of the earth itself. You don't know what that means or how far of a journey this is likely to be, but it sounds like it's going to be a long way. And you're being loaded up with a lot of stuff. That will conclude all of the formal things. They're going to utter a stone chant prayer to you, and while they do this, you're going to see new stone decorations just appearing around the edges of the hall while the stone singers are singing this like deep booming echoing song. And you can watch as their dwarven song magic is just creating stone out of nothing that's growing around the edges of the hall and adding a new layer of runes. And the king says, "These runes describe the journey that you're about to undertake. May you return to see the rest of it written."
Oh, that is so cool. Where's my name at? There. Oh, wow.
It's on there. The dwarf next to you says, "Well, it's not your name per se. It roughly translates to shaggy mongrel."
Oh, that would say the most powerful wolf necromancer ever.
What does my name say?
Wolf what? And then a
I said
waiter
wolf.
gets between you and breaks off the conversation.
Ragar. I was just like RPS, so what does my name say?
Let's see, right up there. Yeah, I don't know. You have to ask a dwarf.
Nah, it's okay, buddy. I'm just gonna scooch around you. I'm gonna grab this fork.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Your name roughly translates to an elf with eyes as cold as the stone in the grate beneath.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, it fits.
I have
Nothing about this cool blonde hair I'm growing out, though. Damn.
Oh, I should have said
Oh,
Shaggy
yeah.
Mongrel's best friend.
Two-tone hair's going now. Okay, so
I have
at this point, I'm going to hand it over to you guys to ask questions, role play with anybody that you want to talk to before your expedition, do any preparation you want. But all of the steps have been carried out here, and they're ready to send you down first thing when the sun rises.
I have questions.
Yeah.
One of the things in the trade goods is a quiver,
And
all it says in the just like effect is does not encumber the wearer. Does that mean like arrows that I carry wouldn't encumber me?
Up to
Good
a
question.
D12 probably, or I think it probably means that the quiver that contains the arrows doesn't count as a thing. But I think food, water, arrows, and torches all have a certain weight associated with them. I think it might be like count as one thing for as many as you can carry up to a D12, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, food is one normal, water is one normal.
Yeah, it
For
shows them
arrows
as
and-
all normal for arrows. I just
Yeah.
wasn't sure if like
think
a
that
quiver
means
would
up to a-
neutralize that.
I think it means that the quiver you use to carry your arrows doesn't count as a thing because it's already included in the one of the arrows, is how I assume that is meant. I think it's just
So
saying
you-
that you don't have
So
to.
you can't carry arrows without having a quiver.
Yeah, I think it's saying. Well, yeah, I think it's basically just saying if you have a quiver full of arrows, that doesn't count as two items. That counts as one thing. Did that answer your question or no?
Oh, the quiver itself does. It just says this it's weird under the effect. So I didn't. I guess
Yeah.
I don't know what a quiver does other than just
It holds arrows.
flare.
It's a container for arrows.
I know what actual quivers do. I didn't
Yeah.
know what like game
But I'm
effect
saying-
this quiver does.
Yeah, I'm saying,
I haven't had a quiver this whole time.
Okay, you've just been carrying arrows in a bag or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, now you have a proper quiver, and you can keep it forever. You don't even have to
Sweet.
pay for it.
They even have fishing nets.
It doesn't weigh anything.
50 fishing nets. Yeah.
I did have one other question. You said up to a gold. Does that mean like
No
like
single
everything?
thing costing more than a gold.
okay, we should absolutely get a large tent. It's like 5 silver. And it's like 6 people can sleep in it. There'll be 6 of us.
Oh boy, it's heavy.
We have a cart thing that's carrying it.
And then Sir Archibald can carry it after that.
No, he can't go down there.
No, I mean, when we come back
Oh.
up.
Right, yeah.
Sure, mark it.
How heavy is it?
How many
Josh,
bear
how
traps?
much
Oh, just
money
the
do I
stats
owe
section.
you for the thing that I DM'd you about?
I don't remember.
Okay,
Because it'll
no
be
worries.
the same cost as it was before, and so I need to roll back and figure it out.
Okay, no worries. We'll mark it later. I just didn't want to not pay for it.
Yeah, just make a note that you paid for it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm just writing stuff down. I don't know if you're
Uh,
looking for us to tell you what we end up getting, but I'm putting stuff down that I'm loading up.
It's fine. You can, as long as it's marked on your sheets. You can. load
Everyone
it
should
up.
take an oil lamp and lamp oil. They're both light, so you can pretty much. I've already marked it on mine, and it didn't.
Can we put stuff on the heavy sleds that are going with us?
The sleds are loaded with barrels, and that's their primary purpose. If you take anything with you, you're going to have to be able to carry it on you.
Got it. Okay.
Just take the heavy tent back to the inn, and we'll just leave it with Sir Archibald for future adventures.
For the future. Hey, give us
I
this
mean,
thing.
I-
We need it.
I could
But
carry
we're
it.
not taking it.
I could carry it. I'm not bringing my field kitchen. So,
Yeah, that's a good call. The hunting and fishing.
or my fishing net, like, you know.
All right, do it then. I guess I could take a grappling hook and some rope.
I also have a grappling hook and rope just from the starting
Fair
of
enough.
the game. I was like, what are things that my character might need?
Well, then I'm gonna double down on things that light the way, and I'm gonna get some tallow candles.
You can all load up to a D12 of torches too, because there's no reason not to, really.
What
They encumber
weight,
you.
what
Yeah.
weight is Terramalda's spike?
It's a single item.
Just like
It's a weight of
normal, light. Okay.
one. Normal.
Oh yeah,
Got it.
we never talked about whether her helmet gave me any armor rating or anything.
It doesn't. Helmets will not directly give you armor rating. Only a full suit of armor will do that, and only to a certain extent. But I will.
Okay.
Yeah, let me get back to you on what effect it'll have. It'll
In that
probably have
case-
some ability to mitigate the chance of like a critical. Oh, right. There's critical injury tables, and if you get a critical injury to the head, it'll have a chance to negate it.
Yeah, not worth carrying. I'll leave it with Sir Archibald in the
Okay.
inn.
All right, we're gonna go in 2 minutes.
So I'm looking at lantern and oil lamp.
Yeah.
Lantern says illuminate within arm's length for a quarter day, and oil lamp says illuminates within near range for a quarter day. Can only be used indoors.
Thanks,
requires
babe.
lamp oil.
Mm-hmm.
So is that like
That's fine
Oil
here,
lamp
yeah.
is-
oil lamp can
oh,
work here. Yeah,
you can use it? Okay, cool.
yeah. It's all gonna be underground.
I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick.
Okay.
Be back.
Oh, I guess they both use lamp oil, so like, may as well take a lantern because it can work both outdoors and indoors, while an oil lamp only works indoors. Yeah,
I
'cause-
think doesn't 2 light items equal a heavy item?
Yeah.
Or sorry,
light
2
item
light
is a
item
half.
equal a
It's
normal
all,
item.
It's all just counting items, and a normal item is 1. A light item is a half. A heavy
Okay.
item is 2. It's like half 1, 2. Things smaller than that are trivial, and you don't have to keep track of them. Things heavier than that, you pretty much can't carry. So everything
We
is
could
either
get-
1, a half, or 2. I think there might be.
We
Another category,
could
but-
get lethal poison. It's on the trade goods, and it's only 5 silver. Does rarity not matter for the trade goods?
What's
I'm asking for the
what are you
like
looking
the
to get?
there are poisons on there. And-
Nothing rare.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense too.
Yeah, only common and uncommon.
I can make you those though if you get supplies.
Yeah, it's the supplies part that I'm concerned about. I upgraded my arrows from the wooden to the iron head ones, Josh.
Okay, cool.
Am I allowed? I don't know how I would do it. Am I allowed to like carry extra arrows that aren't the D6s?
You can only carry up to D12.
Do my companions have any free carry weight to hold extra arrows just in case?
They could all go up to D12 arrows if you want them to be able to share a die with you.
If y'all
They're
If
just
y'all
gonna
got the
have
carrying
weight
capacity,
of an extra thing.
right?
I'll grab
If y'all,
D12 arrows for him.
yeah, I was gonna say if y'all have the carrying capacity, then by all means, I would really appreciate it. I'm not
And
planning
the
on
only thing
missing,
that I'm
but-
taking from the supplies is arrows, torches, a lantern, and lamp oil. I'm not really taking any other goods, so
I did a large tent, chalk, and then I upgraded my arrows. I still
Are
have
there?
more
Hmm.
carrying capacity too.
I don't see herbs in the trade goods. Would I be able to take some herbs
Yes, you can.
Is jellyfish?
just that I can craft into like antidotes or whatever if we need them later?
Yeah.
How many units would you say I'd be able to take? What's reasonable?
Raw materials. Are herbs not on
It's
the
not
list?
under
of raw
trade
materials?
goods. It's under raw materials. But yeah, they could probably provide you with herbs.
They have a shelf life of 1 week.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Under buildings, there's this thing called a palace. Can I bring one of those?
Yeah, bring a palace in your pocket.
Going on an adventure.
You can mark that you have some herbs for the time being, and I'll find the details on like how much they.
Sure.
Just say you have 1 carrying capacity worth of herbs on you, or whatever.
All right.
All right. When Amy comes back, we will begin the journey.
Do you guys think we'll be fine with food? Like for it without a need to like cook more food?
Yeah.
You're confident?
Oh.
Okay.
D12 food will go a pretty long way.
You say that, but if we're down there for enough days,
Well, they're sending barrels of water.
oh man. I was looking at the weapons to see like if there was any kind of a better bow I could ever have. And the only difference is like either a short bow or a long bow.
I bet there's a magical bow somewhere in the world. You just gotta find it.
How do you where are the stats for the weapons? Is it in combat? Where do you find like the bonuses weapons give you? Like what is that not under gear?
It's in a. I think there's one table that has the actual stats of the weapons, and another that has.
Oh, probably under combat weapons. Yeah, here we go.
Yep. Yeah, it's in the combat chapter, not the equipment,
Two-handed +2.
not the gear chapter. Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
okay.
page
The
103.
only difference being is that it's a longbow has the range of long, but it still gives +2. That's why I never got one.
And weapons will not be trade goods, so they're not going to give you weapons.
Well, no, yeah, I was thinking about buying one if
Yeah.
it was worth it, but
All right,
I
Amy back.
prefer what I have.
We good? We're
Yes.
good. All right. The next
Sorry.
morning at dawn, they're going to parade you down to the catacombs to begin your journey. Let me reveal.
Oh man, here we go.
What could possibly go wrong?
Everything.
Whoops.
If Josh says there's buzzing and a fountain of honey, we leave immediately.
It's all bees all the time.
Absolutely
dwarves.
not. That lich stuff has come in handy.
Dahlia will be staying behind. Dahlia's gonna say, good luck. Lynn is going to glare at you, arms folded. And Dahlia is going to pull aside Grunralk. She says, just keep an eye on them, okay?
I'll do my very best to bring every single one of them back.
I want all of you to come back safe. And then she gives you a giant hug.
I'll hug her back.
Oh,
And then she's going to stand up and not look at you again and go running off back towards the town.
y'all are gonna have the cutest babies.
Single salty goblins here.
All right. At this point, Lupendus Firm, your dwarf companion, is going to be stepping out into the middle of an open clearing where he is surrounded by a bunch of dwarven guards, and the king says, "Are you ready, Lupendus?" And he says, "As I'm going to be. My time has come, and I will serve my people as I must." He says, "Very well then. Give it to him." And these big dwarves are going to hold him down on a huge stone table, and one of them pulls out a steaming brand of a dwarven rune, and they're going to press it into his cheek on the side of his face, and he's going to grimace and grunt and move around, and smoke and the smell of burning flesh is coming off of him, and until he has blood trickling down his neck and just a charred black mark on his face. It's like a brutal burn across his face. And
Just for clarity, no one had better do that to me.
I think that's just for the. I hope that's just for the clans.
That
He's
had
gonna-
better just be for the clans.
he's gonna stand up, and he has like a tear rolling down his cheek on the side where they burned him. His face is all flushed, and he looks at all of you and says, "I'm not crying. I think it just boiled my eyes."
I
We ready?
probably got some smoke in your eyes. Yeah.
He
Yeah.
says,
Let's.
"How do I look with no clan?"
Manly as hell.
Very tall.
Good. Let's go. And then he goes marching off towards the gates. The dwarves are going to open the huge gates for you so that you can go down with the sled. The sleds are prepared and they're lined up in front of the gates when you arrive, stacked up with barrels. They have braking mechanisms like levers that lower spikes into the ground, but the runners on the sleds are treated in a special way so that they'll slide over anything. They're loaded up with barrels. The Dwelvers are there leading the way, and Arvia is here just tightening up the armor, sharpening her weapon, getting ready. She goes off and has a few words with her companions, her Galdane riders, and what?
Well, we should have asked the dwarves to repair our armor last night.
You could
Oh
say-
well.
You could say your armor's repaired.
Yeah?
Yeah,
It'd have been something you'd have
they
thought
would
of. for
absolutely
sure.
do it for you.
That's
There are-
awesome.
There are dwarves here that could do it trivially, and they want you to be protected when you go down there.
If we make it back alive, do you think they'd give me one of those clanless marks?
They'll probably give you one right now.
The dwarf that was using the hot poker is like, you want it? You want it? Come on over here.
Go ahead. They're all dead anyway.
Oh, the arm is meaningless. That can be hidden away. I mean, I'll poke you with it if you want. You're not even a dwarf. Come on, give me that
I
arm.
can't put it on my face. My
Give me that
eye's
arm.
too big.
You'll be the only goblin in all the Ravenlands that everyone knows is not a member of any dwarf clan at all.
Arms out.
You want it?
Yeah, go
Alright.
for it.
You're gonna burn it into you. Take a point of damage to your strength because that arm is gonna be sore for a while.
Worth it.
You've been
Any,
branded.
now, anytime we come across a dwarf, Runrock's gonna lift up, so like, hey, check it out.
The whole ceremony and all the people watching have already dispersed when this is happening. This is just for the amusement of the dwarf guards who are like, you really want this? One or two dwarves look over while this is happening with some amount of disgust, like, why is that goblin getting branded?
No,
But
love
they'll
it.
absolutely do it for you. So, all right, you're branded.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, and you set off down into the mountain. Let's do it. Let's get some music mixed up here. You make your way down into the mountain, down huge, ancient, steep stone staircases. They descend straight into the mountain so far that you cannot see the base of the stairs when you start to walk down them. But then every so often there is a landing where the stairs change direction and go a bit deeper, a bit deeper, a bit deeper. But sometimes you're walking for minutes at a time down the same staircase without ever seeing a landing. And sometimes you can stop in the middle of a staircase and look up and you cannot see the top, and look down and you cannot see the bottom because it's just so far in both directions. You descend down several of these. And for the most part, Arvia is making a show of marching in front. She's just treading on ahead, not looking back, not saying a whole lot. And Lupendus is going to be traveling right alongside the sleds, staying close to the Dwellers, leaving you all to go trailing behind as the rear guard, or traveling in front of the sleds in between Lupendus and Arvia, wherever you want to be.
I pick in between for me.
I'm with Vergillo.
I'm good.
Anybody want to be the rear guard? Rear
I
guard.
can be. Oh,
Rear guard.
I will, I guess, go towards the front. Are there any dwellers in the front?
The Dwellers are traveling right alongside the sleds, very tight and close to them. And then Arvia's marching a little bit ahead. And Lupendus is
Okay.
traveling right alongside the sleds as well.
Well, I will make my way up to Arvia, but as I pass one of the dwellers, I'm a little like hungry. Do you have any snacks?
He's going to look down.
Please? Just one? Just one snack? Please?
Lupendus next to you
I
is
don't know
like,
what that means.
he says, "You've hardly started the journey. They're rationing, you know."
I'm just trying to make a little bit of, you know what, not important. And I'll move up to Arvia.
He's,
Why are you all the way up here?
Someone's got to be brave.
This is reckless, not brave.
Hmm.
Why'd you come at all?
We've got plenty of time to talk about that. She keeps marching on into the darkness. She's like, "Are you so fidgety and we haven't even started this journey?"
Fidgety's what keeps you alive, kid.
Well, this is going to be a marathon, not a race. I suggest You keep your eyes open so you don't go stumbling down these stairs.
I suggest you keep your eyes open so you don't get hit in the head with something.
She is looking around with fascination at these halls because this is deeper than she's ever been in the chambers, and she's heard a lot of legends of this place, and she's fairly introspective at this point, looking around at what's going on all around you. Grenrock,
I am. Oh,
you hear a from off in a dark corner in one direction.
Do my goblin eyes see anything in the dark?
You can actually make out just the faintest bit of light coming from that direction around a corner, and you can make out kind of a metal grate and maybe some fingers poking through it way off in a corner of the cave. These sleds are going very slowly right now, so you could deck out without slowing anybody down if you want to.
I'm gonna look ahead for a second and watch the sleds.
They're just
and then
grinding
slip
along.
over towards it. I want to see if I can get close enough to see like who's attached to the fingers that are sticking through the bars.
Okay. You travel down a little side corridor, and you can actually see a tiny bit of daylight peeking out down at the end of a corridor. And you realize that you must still be somewhere along ground level, and that there is a grated off gate to a passage to the outside here. And someone is on the other side of it. It is a dwarf. It is a dwarf, and he's going, "You, quickly, over here. Goblin."
I'm not coming any closer. What do you want?
From, you smell a smell that you do not like. You smell orc. And as you get closer, you realize that there is a dwarf, well-dressed in finery, but muddy up to the knees, like his fancy cloak has been dragging through mud. And he is standing at a metal grate, and he is has standing behind him about a dozen orcs standing in the passage on the other side of him, apparently well equipped.
Are you that stone singer brat?
I am Trondeval of Belderand. I wish to parley with you for a moment.
I was worried that was you. What do you want?
Have I offended you in some way?
Not you. Your big stupid friends.
He says, I need to speak with you about something of dire importance. I know that you are on a mission. I won't take more than a minute of your time. These orcs wish to parley with the dwarves, but they will not grant them a meeting. They wish to offer an alliance so that they can unite in overthrowing the brutal humans of the Harga Plains. And they will not be granted an audience. But I wish to lead them in on my own word and my own bond that they will act honorably in order to formally offer an alliance to the king. They will not be granted entry at the gates. I want them to prove themselves peaceful so that they can enter into the city and parley with the king and petition him for aid. He will never see them.
orc.
He will never see them if the guards turn them away. But if they could simply get in front of him and plead their case. The orcs in the back, you just see their silhouettes, spikes, weapons.
What clan?
These are honorable orcs of the Iser clan. What?
You picked the wrong goblin, friend. I'll tell your brother and sister you're alive and still chasing stupid fancies with murderers.
Wait.
Good
wait,
luck.
There's a lever over there. If you could but throw it.
I'll turn and walk towards the sleds.
You've no idea what this alliance could do. For
I
the
know
people,
exactly
for-
what the Alliance will do. They killed my clan.
As you're walking away, you hear a squeal. And then you hear an orc voice barking at you and saying, "Fight then! He's a hostage! Get over here, or we'll slit his throat! Throat, throat, throat." That echoes through the whole cavern, and everybody hears it.
So we all heard that.
Yeah.
You stupid beard gob! And I'll throw the lever.
Oh geez, yeah. I immediately like rush back as soon as I
Oh.
heard him
This
shout.
is like
so-
a dozen orcs. It's a shit
I
ton
am.
of orcs.
I'm gonna find a place to hide, so I can
gonna-
get a
I'm gonna
sneak
try and
attack.
back. I don't know how far ahead we've gotten, but I'm gonna try and rush back to help out.
If he's throwing that lever, then you're all still crossing the chasm when this all breaks out. Yeah. I'm going to say that Hank is short distance from all of them, and everybody else is long distance from all of them. Oops. Accidentally closed out of the...
Yep,
Roll20.
accurate description.
And yeah, I'm gonna draw some cards here, because as soon as you throw that lever, the orcs let out a battle cry and they throw the guy on the ground and they draw weapons and start charging down the corridor into the cave. You can faintly make out the dwarf in the background going, "Wait, no, this wasn't what we agreed. No, peaceful, peaceful."
I turned to Arvia and I go, "Oh boy, have you ever killed an orc before?"
She's like, "Shook, I've lost count." All right, here we go. I'm gonna give us an initiative draw here.
Oh jeez.
Let's start with.
I have a question.
Yep,
Are orcs humanoid or are they monsters?
they're humanoid.
Fuck
They're a playable race.
Yeah. Let's get
My
some
character
necromancy
dies.
up in here.
If my character dies and Hanks lives, my next character is gonna be an orc.
If your character dies,
Deal.
I'm
Just
bringing
for
you back to
tension.
life.
All right. Here we go. We got Amy on 5. Velas. Grunrelk on 4. You're slightly earlier.
Ralgar on 10.
Vergello on 10. Ralgar going first.
Hey!
Hey, it
Swap.
happened. We got the 2 dwarf NPCs that you are traveling with, Arvia and Lupendus, sorry, going on 9. They're far away, focused on the cart, and they take a minute to react to what's going on. And we've got orcs going on 3.
Oh jeez.
Arvia, I thought she was. Me and Vergello were with her, right?
We're in between her and.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll swap with you, Vergello.
Are you sure?
We're right next to each other, and you've got ranged.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, You said we're long distance.
Yeah, I'm gonna move us to a
Combat page.
doodle map, and I'm just gonna sketch
Grunrock-
up a rough thing.
Runrock has been waiting
Whoops.
for this. I was literally gonna say that like the first time we see an orc, if combat doesn't get started, it's because Grunrock wasn't there.
Yeah. Velas, Vergello, Ralgar, Grunralk, and then I'm going to do.
Well, and he said the magic word. I was gonna walk away until he said the
Yeah.
magic word.
Here's your 2 dwarf
Hmm.
companions as anonymous tokens.
Oh jeez.
Was the magic word hostage, slit, or throat?
It was the clan, actually.
Ah.
Hmm.
All right, let me doodle this up real quick. So, this is just going to be very rough. So there's a broad cave that you are all traveling through. I'm just going to draw this in a bright color so it's easy to see. Big broad cave that you're all traveling through. The sleds are way out here somewhere on one far edge. Here, I'll update the view on the stream so people can see my doodles. My doodles.
But doodles.
All right. Sleds are way over here. You got this little side corridor out here with a narrow passage. There is a grate. Here's the grate. Here's the lever. We got, these are all just relative distances, not like exact. We got Grunralk over here at short range. We got a whole bunch of orcs. Let me put, I'll put a green dot on the orcs here so that we know they're orcs.
I'm already nervous, you guys.
There's a
Oh my
lot of
goodness.
orcs.
You should be.
This is 12 orcs, y'all. They're not packed up exactly like this. They're going to be coming in waves, and there's a whole bunch of them getting ready for a fight. But Grunralk is short range from them. Everybody else is long range from them back over here. And, yeah. Let's go, let me see if I have a good,
Good combat music.
at least better than this. Yeah, one sec.
But I mean, this music is provided by the amazing
Sirenscape.
a wonderful place for you to get all of your music for fighting, for dancing, for entertaining, for walking in a forest. It's got it all.
I would
Thank you,
I would love
Sirenscape.
to go into a club and they're using Sirenscape as like additional sounds to the music.
Make the place seem more lively.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Or combat in the background.
Here's the, oh,
Oh,
sorry. I realized that stuff wasn't visible on the stream because it's kind of cut off. Trying to get it adjusted. Yeah, there we go. That's close enough. Yep, so we're going to the top of the initiative, which is Ralgar. Ralgar, you hear that shout and you're like, oh, shit's going down. And before anybody else,
Ralgar.
the back of your neck stands up and you are in it. What do you want to do?
I'm
long
going
distance from
to.
Did you want to swap?
Well, I was thinking about it, but I guess we can't really see the orcs from here, can
Well, that's what I was gonna ask if we did swap. Like it's long range, but are we can we see the orcs from this
You can
distance?
get to a place where you can see the orcs without leaving the zone that you are in. Don't worry about the exact layout of the map because without taking a move action, you can move around freely in this like space while taking your turn. You can get to where they're in line of sight, but they'll be at long range.
I could.
If you want
I
to
could-
change, if you want to change your distance to the orcs, that is going to be an action. But if
I
you
could
remain
get
at
off
long
two
range-
attacks.
If you want to remain at long range and get to a place where you can see them, you can do that.
Because I
If
could
you
also
want-
sprint. I could sprint towards the lever and try to throw the lever closed.
I think you're gonna have to fight off Grunraw. It's up to you. I could get off 2 attacks, but you know that's not gonna kill 12 orcs. So
Yeah. 6 against 12. We'd have to take 2 out each. Grunralk is in trouble. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna sprint. I'm gonna take the action. I'm gonna sprint towards the lever and try to pull Grunralk off it and throw it closed with my other paw.
Okay. To get to it in time to still be able to throw it, you're going to have to succeed on a move roll here.
All right. Let's try it. Can I push it?
You can push it.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, oh boy. Oh my gosh. 2 very mid rolls.
yeah,
Yeah. No, you're going to make your way to the lever, but things are going to advance to the next round before you can push it.
All right, well there I am by the lever. Oh boy.
You can actually, you'll get half. Yeah, no, it's your action to try to sprint. So, yeah, you're gonna have to.
It's like dashing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can choose to stop halfway and go in a different direction once you realize you're not gonna make it in time and see the orcs storming through. So, you can choose whether you end up by the lever next to Grunralk or somewhere further back once you realize that you're gonna be too late.
If you got any cool
You still
willpower
won't have an
abilities.
action, but you don't have to spend your turn following through on your movement when you realize you're not going to get there in time. So
Ooh, okay.
you can
In that
end
case-
your turn back here, or you can get partway there and then be like, "Ah," and backpedal even further.
What range is he? Did he move zones? At least
Yeah, he went from long range to.
short range.
He wanted to get from long range to short range and still have an action to throw the lever. On his way there, he realized, I'm not going to make it in time. They're all storming through. And so then he can choose to end his turn back at long range or up at short range, whichever he wants.
Yeah, I'm gonna get to short range.
Okay. He's just getting up
Let's
there.
be reckless. Let's do it.
All right. He's huffing and puffing. He's close to the lever.
Oh, Grunrock. Oh, God, why did you do this?
All right. We got
Orcs.
3 is orcs, yeah. The orcs are going to let out a battle cry, and they are going to come charging up here. One sec.
What range were the orcs?
Short. From range from what?
From Grunrock. Oh,
Yeah.
from Grunrock. So short
Yeah,
range
short,
is the
yeah.
relative. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, looking for their stats real quick.
Do, 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 do.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Got it, sorry. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna need one sec. The orcs are in a different location in the books. I thought that they were referenced in this encounter, and they're not. It says to go find them elsewhere. There we go. Yeah, so these orcs all have huge, rusty two-handed swords, studded leather armor, and closed helmets.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
We're fucked.
you're gonna get them basically fanning out into this opening, letting out a battle cry, and assessing the situation. And 3 of them, the 3 that charged through first, are just gonna go diving straight to Grunrock. The others are all charging out into this cave, fanning out, looking around, seeing if it's an ambush, etc. But you got a trio of them that are just gonna come charging in, swinging.
Where's the dwarf in all this? The prince.
He got thrown to the ground out here by outside of the grate. Actually, one of these orcs is gonna hang behind, guarding him as a hostage. So all of these go from short to near range to you. Oh, actually, it's a double move to. Let me check. I think they go from short to near, and then from near to engage, and that's gonna be their turn, maybe. I need to check. For all the combats we've done, most of
It
them
feels
are
like
just
it's still different every time, though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, short, near, arm's length. And when you're moving zones, one zone to a neighboring zone or between near and arm's length from an enemy in the zone you are already in. Yeah. So, yeah, 3 of these orcs are just going to go up and engage Grunrock. You are now in arm's reach melee with 3 orcs with two-handed swords, and the rest of this huge orc squadron is just going to come charging out into the cave on a rampage, running towards whatever the biggest concentration of enemies is, which appears to be the carts and the rest of the party. So the orcs first through the gate are going to engage, and the others are just going to go rushing around. They are all short range to everybody now. This big blob of orcs that went charging into the center of the cave are now short range to everybody, Ralgar, Grenralk, etc. And these three are arm's length to Grenralk, and they are near length to Ralgar. And that's going to be their turn. So then we go to initiative 4.
That's Grunrock.
Grenralk.
Me. I'm
you.
going to. I'm gonna slash at 2 of them. It's separately for the 2 attacks with sword fighter.
Okay.
Let me do the one closest to the wall first.
Okay.
Woof.
All right, one sec. Your orc friends are just gonna parry and swing and parry and swing and parry and swing. So there's gonna be a parry roll on this here. Unless I say otherwise, they're just gonna parry and swing. So let's get our orc. How did this page change? All right, there we go. 3. Yeah. Parried 1. That'll negate it. Unless you'd like to push.
No pushing.
Okay.
I'm gonna swing at the one directly in front of me with my second hit.
Okay, you get 2 attacks from like a talent.
Yeah, sword fighter level 2.
Cool. I was pretty sure. I was just confirming.
Yeah, no worries. And it's a single action. I just have to make the rolls independently.
Okay.
A little better.
All right. Are you swinging at the same one again?
No,
Because
this
that one
guy in
parried
front of me.
already. Okay.
It has to be 2 different enemies.
Oh, okay. This
I
guy
don't
will parry
wanna-
as well.
Okay.
No successes. That's a 2 hit. So what's
3
the damage? It's your base damage plus 1.
3.
What are you fighting with? Are you fighting with that orcish scimitar that you got from Iser Orcs?
Yes, I am.
Beautiful.
It's in the box, y'all.
I'm gonna burn a willpower to ignore his armor,
Okay, cool.
and it's my damage is 2. My total is 2.
Okay.
Well, no, it's 3.
3.
You roll.
It's
You
one
roll 2
higher than whatever your
successes.
normal damage is.
Yeah. So
Oh,
you
okay,
do a
okay.
damage of 2, and then
So
you
3.
add 1 extra the extra success.
Okay. That guy is near death. He's not quite down yet. But he is
Damn, they got
very
4
close.
strength.
Yeah, they have 4 strength. These are big burly orcs. There's 12 of them. Good luck, group.
I swear.
I just killed us all. I'm sorry.
We're
Oh,
going
well.
I was
to
playing my character.
initiative 5. Velas.
That's a me. Is there any kind of shelter-esque type things that I can try and get behind to set myself up for better success?
You're trying to
The
stealth.
sled?
I'm trying to
If you spend your
have the
whole
opportunity
if you
to-
spend your whole turn running behind the sleds and trying to conceal yourself, then I'll let you stealth up on something next turn if you want to.
Yep, that's what I'm gonna do.
All right, run for it. You're gonna spend your whole turn vanishing, and the
Do you
stealth
need a
rolls
stealth
will
roll?
happen next turn. You don't even need a stealth roll yet. because
Okay.
the stealth rolls are going to be modified by how close you're getting to people and whatever. So you spend the whole turn running away.
Yeah,
and
well,
getting
you know,
hit.
you always put it like
continues-
that. I have no way to do one-hit kills, which I have done
I ain't
many
judging. I ain't
times.
judging. You're just running away, is all I'm saying.
No,
We are on to initiative 9, which
That's
is
the
your dwarf
dwarves.
companions. Yeah. So, Arvia and Lupendus, are going to draw weapons and just, they actually don't want to charge in there and just get slaughtered, so they're actually gonna like hold formation around the wagons
Yeah,
with
they
weapons
are.
drawn and wait for the orcs to come to them so that they can charge in
Mhm.
swinging when the orcs are in striking distance. So
Yep.
they are forming up ranks, and they say, Arvia says, "Get behind me, I can handle these," and Lupenda says, "I don't know if that's true or not, but I shall fight like it is my last. Let's go." And they are standing, taking up arms, and taunting the orcs to come at me, bros.
I was expecting them all to get bottlenecked a little bit more in that hallway, not be able to all get in before I could reach the switch.
Yeah.
Well,
I was thinking the same thing.
let's keep going.
I did say that they were going to come in waves before you made that decision. Let me back up half of these. These are outside.
Oh, look at you trying to keep us alive.
I'm trying to keep my word. And you made that decision based on me saying they were coming in waves. So we go to
Me.
10. Yeah.
Usually Ralgar's position.
Right.
I have a clarification thing for a
Uh-huh.
talent that I have. Rank 2 of fast shooter says you can shoot with a ranged weapon and run at the same time.
Okay.
So that means I can move from one zone to another and take a shot with the single.
Okay.
Because the reason I ask is I can take 2 shots in a turn. So is it saying that I can take the run as a fast action and shoot as a slow action? Or is this saying that I can shoot and run both as a fast action?
What's the name of the talent?
Fast shooter.
Let me look at it. Okay, one sec. Fast shooter, 75. Fast shooter. You can shoot with a ranged weapon and run at the same time. I guess that means when you take a run action, you get a shot as part of that run action.
Okay, so that like one fast action to shoot and run.
Yeah.
Okay.
It means that
Then-
instead of move and shoot, you can run and shoot, which can potentially take you 2 zones or whatever.
So I can still, if you still have it up, I have rank 3 of fast shooter. I can still shoot twice and run.
You only need to spend a fast action to shoot with a ranged weapon, meaning you can shoot twice in a round. So you could run and shoot twice, yeah. If
Okay,
that's what you're asking.
yeah, that's what I
my
was asking.
understanding. That's what it looks like.
Then I'm gonna move to long range from the orcs.
Okay.
And is there a penalty to shooting at enemy that's in melee with an ally? I tried finding it and I couldn't see anything, but that doesn't really
Don't remember.
necessarily mean that there isn't one. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Let's see.
That's what I was looking
Shoot with a
for.
range.
during
It would
the
be
book.
in the description of the shoot action. So
Okay, so it'd be
it's harder to hit your target if they're further away. Shoot. Aim. Roll for marksmanship. Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't say anything about it, so I don't think it gets that specific in this game.
Okay. Then I'm going to take a shot at the one that Grunrock injured.
Go for it.
Can I push it?
You can push it.
Yay! I get a willpower.
So you're taking at least 1 point of damage to your agility here
Yeah.
from strain.
I took
Uh-oh.
2 points to my agility and
Total
still
miss.
missed.
2 points to your agility.
But that's
Okay.
2 willpower.
You're panicking a little bit, and you're starting to shake, and you hold the bow so long while frantically trying to decide where to shoot that your arm is getting tired and sore.
All right. Deep breath. Second shot.
You finally let loose the arrow, and it just goes in between the groups of orcs because you panicked. That
All
was
right.
it.
One hit.
All right, he's already used a reaction, and he's not going to dive to the ground here, so that's going to hit him. How much damage does that do?
Just one.
All right.
He was near death. Is that enough to kill him?
See how his armor does.
Yes, it is.
Woot.
He
I
takes
did
it
a
to the
thing.
chest and goes down.
My shoulder hurts.
Orc
Miguel, is that the
vanquished.
first time you've like put in the killing blow?
Probably.
Nice.
All right.
Oh, I should probably be back here somewhere for long range, I guess.
Whoops.
Gee.
Oh Lord, that was not the right button. That was
I don't
great,
know
though.
what that was.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try a sound here. Thug roars.
Incoming. Thug roars. That was
Incredible.
just for Gello throwing out his shoulder.
Oh, this is not the right sound set. Okay, fine. Back to war drums and battle music. Let's do it. Okay. So
Back at the top.
Back at the top. Yeah. Whoop. Tap. Yeah, we're back to the ace.
Yes, that is me. Okay. I'm gonna use whatever quick action I have to throw that lever shut.
All right. The orc that is closest to the gate is going to try a might roll to catch it and keep it from going down. If he is successful, he is going to have to stand passively holding the gate open. If he is unsuccessful, it will slam shut, and then he won't have any way to get under it anymore. So either way, this will tie up an orc for the time being, but if he fails, you will successfully close all these guys out. Here's a might roll. This is going to be... One
Damn.
success. That orc strains under it. It almost goes down. He lifts it back up over his head. So one of these orcs is tied
Okay.
up, holding the gate open.
All right.
And the
In that
others
case,
are starting to filter in around him. Slowly.
still my turn.
Yep.
Still my turn.
Uh-huh.
They don't get to filter yet.
Yes.
And they're not going to get to filter. Because I do need clarity on what range I am to them.
You are short range. You're near range to the two that are next to Grunrock. You're short range to this group up here. And you are short range to the group outside the gates.
All right. Then in that case,
And
I'm
you're in
going to
arm's reach of
target.
no one.
I'm going to target the guy who is holding up the gate.
Okay.
And I am going to pull out from my backpack a single skull. Let's mark that I'm using that.
Okay.
Get out of here, skull. And I'm going to say loudly enough for everyone to hear, in here lays death. Run with your lives while you can. And I'm going to cast terror.
Okay.
I'm going to use 2 willpower to cast this, and then the skull will bump it up to a level 3.
Okay. So you'll get 3 dice. Or yeah, it counts as a power level 3, even though you're spending 2 willpower.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
you roll 3 dice, I
Two.
believe.
Ooh,
if you
I think
roll-
the ingredient comes in afterwards. Let me just double check again.
I think it increases the power level, which increases the dice you have to roll.
Yeah, ingredients increased power level because they weren't required for spells.
Yeah, I just hold on, stay with me,
Mhm.
because I just read a scenario that was like,
Power level of the spell increases by 1. You must still spend at least 1 willpower to cast the spell. Once the spell is cast, the ingredient has been spent and cannot be used again. So it's a question of whether power level is the dice that you need. The number of willpower points you spend when you cast a spell is called its base power level.
and that's the dice you roll.
You roll a number of base dice equal to the number of willpower points you spend.
She spends blah. All right, here, blah blah blah. Carries the torch. She spends 2 willpower points to power her spell.
Mm-hmm.
She rolls 1 blah, 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 1 success and 2 skulls. The power level is 5. 3 from the willpower, 1 from the success, and 1 from the ingredient. So the ingredient is added on afterwards.
Okay, so it doesn't increase the dice. It just gives
No.
you free power level.
Gives you a
Nice.
success. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a power level 3 spell. You only roll 2 dice. If you get any amount of 6s, it will get stronger. If you get any amount of 1s, you'll have to roll a miscast. But either way, it will resolve by default, unless you miscast and it says otherwise.
You got 2 whole dwarves you could atomize.
Fuck me.
That is the spell's gonna go off unless the miscast says otherwise. But this is a miscast roll.
How close is he to me? Out of
Magic.
curiosity.
And just so everyone that's
You're
watching
long
knows, I am yet to cast a spell without miscasting.
Miscasts are interesting. They just have an incredible risk of killing you.
Hey, it's
Josh.
only on a double 6.
All right, so let me
How-
just describe this
Hold on
spell.
a second. Amy's asking something. What?
How close to the crown does he have to be before it goes off?
Oh,
I just want to make sure that's
If
Crown.
the
not
crown's
a
on
thing.
you, then it's gonna dispel stuff.
It's in my backpack. It's always in my backpack.
Hold on.
I'm so sick of this crown.
Yeah.
Does it?
I don't know. It has in the past, but I don't know that it does unless I'm wearing it. I don't
just
know.
wasn't sure if that was like Deus,
Oh, it has a roll that determines how it interferes.
To be fair, it's not ever been helpful to us. Just for clarity.
I don't know, when it blew a hole out of the side of the guy's house, it gave us some opportunity at the very least.
It's time for us to stop bringing this crown everywhere with us.
It really messes with Adam being able to do
Stupid
stuff.
relic artifact.
All right.
Where do you want me to leave it?
Let's just give it
With
to someone we
Dahlia!
trust.
Yeah, it's gonna trigger a dispel magic effect at power level D6. I think that means it's gonna dispel this on because it was cast at its base power level with no 6s. This is gonna be.
And my ingredients, so it's power level 3.
It rolled a 1. There's a flash of light from the backpack that blasts the flap open and then back down, but it doesn't interfere with the spell.
Thank
Ah, see?
God.
I think
All right,
you had to
but,
roll.
but let's see what my magical mishap is
Yep.
before I describe the
All
spell.
right,
Let's
here
just
we
see what
go.
happens. I
think
roll
Josh
this,
had
right?
to roll a 1 to get it to happen.
You can roll it if you like.
It's 2d6, I believe.
It is
right?
2d6. Yep.
21. Okay, it's a low number. It's a low number.
Your spell suddenly makes you very thirsty. After this combat, you're gonna have to drink a die of water.
I can do that.
That's
You're gonna
have-
doable.
You're gonna have to roll your water die.
Okay.
And you're thirsty
So-
until further notice, whatever effect that has. So you might actually have to spend a turn drinking to not get some kind of debuff. We'll figure it out in a minute. But the
We'll
spell's
figure that
going
out.
off.
So, this is what this spell does.
Yeah, read it out.
I instill a horrible, unbearable fear in my victim. Their mind is flooded by images of their own aging and death, and they suffer damage to both wits and empathy equal to the power level, which was power level 3.
That will give him an empathy break, and he's going to flee the combat in terror, and the gate is going to come smashing down as soon as he runs. It is shut.
And now, just at the end of that, I turn to the other orcs and I go, "You're next."
Which other? I guess all the other orcs.
The group just
Everyone else in the room.
All right. Cool. So that'll be Ralgar, and then we have 3 is orcs. So, These two are in arm's reach of Grunralk and engaged in melee with him, so they're not going to break away from him. Most of these orcs are going to go charging at your two dwarf friends, and one of them is going to break off and spot Ralgar doing this stuff and see what happens and go running at him. So now there is an orc engaged in melee with Ralgar. There are two orcs in melee with Arvia, two orcs in melee with Lupendus, and Grunralk is getting swung at twice. Grunralk, would you like to dodge or parry this first attack?
I want to parry it, but I can't remember how to set that up. Where's that?
I believe
There's
it's a
button
melee
for
roll.
it. It's just a regular melee roll. Okay.
Yeah, parry will... It's a reactive action. They're performed immediately and they break the normal initiative order. However, they do count towards your two available actions, one slow, one fast, in the following round. So parry is going to be a which type of action? Fast action. So you won't have a fast action on your next. You won't be able to move or whatever on your next turn if you parry. And if you parry, with a weapon that lacks the parrying feature, you get a -2 penalty to this roll. So it's a melee roll at a -2, unless your weapon has the parrying feature, which I'll let you look up.
I'm pretty sure it
Yeah,
does.
it's got it.
Okay. And I'll tell you what type of attack this guy is making on you here before we roll any dice. This is a slash attack.
Okay.
Slash attacks modify... can be dodged or parried. If your target dodges, they get a +2 bonus. No modifier to parry. Yep. So yeah, this is a no modifier, or it's a no modifier melee roll, and you'll reduce his successes by however many you get. The second attack against you, you're not going to have a reaction against. So go ahead and
Alright.
roll parry on the first one.
My sword fighter gives me +1 and then a D8 artifact dice for parries. So,
Okay.
boo. Did it roll? It did not roll. Yes, it did.
Whew, 3.
Nice.
Nice. All right, let's get that orc roll. There we go. All right. Zero successes on the slash. Completely avoided. The second one gets 1 success, which is going to be base damage, whatever a two-handed sword is. And then you'll get an armor roll against it. Let's see.
Probably base damage 2. Two-handed sword is damage 3.
That's going to be 3 damage to strength. Grunralk, you can roll armor against it. 1 success, and the armor takes a damage and gets reduced by 1. So you're going to take 2 damage off of that to your strength. That is it for the orcs. These ones outside the gate are making a bunch of ruckus, and they're yelling for the orcs inside to open the gate. Let us in! Let us in!
You said 2 damage off strength?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the orcs says, "Open that lever or this dwarf gets it!" And that's the end of the orc's turn. We are on to initiative 4. Grunralk.
Okay. The second verse, same as the first. I'm gonna swing at this guy next to the lever.
Okay.
With a slash attack.
Oh my goodness.
4 successes, I think.
Wow. Yep. Get a parry roll on that. I think this is actually supposed to be 5d6. You got 2 successes on the parry, so that's reduced to 2 successes, which is what you got last time. I think he survives with 1 health.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, and then my second swing will be at this guy at the top.
Okay.
Two successes.
No parry. So yeah, they're both near to
Near
going
death.
down. Yeah. Oops.
I think I'm gonna burn another willpower here
Okay.
to increase the damage on this last guy and just knock him out.
Okay, go for it.
You said he's 1 off or 2 off?
They're both one.
Do I
off.
know? Okay, so I'll burn 1
You
willpower here.
technically
And
don't know that, but
okay, well,
they are using the same stats, and you can figure it out by inference. So
fair enough. I'm gonna burn 1 and hope it kills this guy right here.
okay.
Not trying to metagame.
It's fine.
Game's a game.
I mean, seeing as how I only did 1 damage to the other one, I feel like we could do our best to math and just assume too.
Yeah. The only way that they would have more than 1 health is if they're using different stat blocks. I don't have 12 different stat blocks. Spoiler alert. Yeah, go ahead. They don't get any parries, so.
It's not a roll. It's just a thing that
It's
happens.
just
It
one
just
extra
dies.
damage.
Oh, it
Yeah,
does 1
I-
extra damage to that last guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Burn a willpower to increase damage. That's
Cool.
all.
What's that ability
did.
called? What does it look like when you do it?
Path of the Blade. When you hit a close combat attack, you can increase the damage. Every willpower spent increases damage by 1. You must.
He
say
does
how
that thing
many-
where he stabs him with the sword, and then the orc is like,
Blech.
ah, and then he goes and twists it, and the orc's like, bleh, and falls over. That 1 extra point. All right, cool. Then it's on to 5, which is
Veloz.
You sound distant.
It's because you're hearing me through Hank's mic. I'm going to sneak up on this one.
Okay.
And try and get a sneak attack.
Okay. Make a sneak roll. Whoops, that's for Gello.
One success. Do I need to push it for more successes? Or is he engaged and distracted?
Hold on a second. We were actually supposed to, if you want to get into melee range, you actually make that roll at a significant penalty. Ambushes and sneak attacks. If you want to get into arm's length, then you do it at a -2. I'm going to remove the dice. Let's see. They would get removed from that skill category, which means the success would go away. So you can get to him, but he's seeing you coming.
Just stab him.
Wait, it's at a -1. Oh, no, -2. Yeah, if you want to get within arm's length, it's a stealth at a -2, which would get rid of both of those red dice, which would negate the success. You could push the white dice, or you could just get in there and regular melee him, but he's going to spot you coming, so you're not going to get benefits of sneak.
Really need benefits of sneak. So I'm gonna push it and just take 1 damage to my agility.
Okay. Push roll.
Nothing. Cool. Nothing but a willpower, which does me nothing.
Well, you can still move up and melee him if you want, but he spots you coming.
Perfect. I blame the backpack.
Yeah.
I will stab him.
Tink, 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 tink.
Go
Man,
ahead.
you forgot to take the silverware out of your cloak, so you're literally just rattling.
Yeah.
He's going to try to parry.
Oh my
Holy crap,
goodness.
look at that parry roll. He got 4 successes on the parry.
That's
Yeah.
some Assassin's Creed shit right there.
Yeah, that orc is like, you're not messing with me, she-elf. I see your tricks. And he shoves you backwards and knocks you off balance a little bit.
Was that
Dagger
both
in
of
hand.
my actions? To like move in and to
Yes.
Stab.
attack.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Cool.
Ambush failed. He spotted you coming, punched
Perfect.
you back, and we are gonna move to our dwarfs. All right, let's get our dwarf friends here. Gonna do secret rolls and narrate what happens here. Give me 1 sec.
Come on, guys.
Secret
Start killing
rolls.
things. Secret rolls. Secret rolls.
All right, our dear friend Lupendus, he's fighting with a warhammer, and he's got old chainmail. All right, here we go. Whew, this guy.
Josh, if they're gonna be secret rolls, like
No, I'm doing it public.
okay,
I decided to do it public.
hammer time.
He's gonna hit the same one that Velas hit, so that's gonna be damage with the warhammer plus 1. Yeah, he's gonna injure this orc right here. He hits him with a solid smash and then mutters something in dwarvish that is very rude to orcs. And then Arvia over there. Over there. Let's see. All right. Oh, Jesus. Grunrock, do you have Path of the Blade?
I do.
What's Path of the Blade rank 3 do?
Path of the Blade rank 3. That's the spend willpower to increase damage on hits.
She wounds one of them. That was a medium roll.
Oh man, yeah, it was.
She gets a lot of dice and she's a badass, but that was not a great roll. She's struggling. Okay. Yeah, the NPCs both wound an orc is what that's going to come down to. TLDR. And so now we're going to Vergello.
Yee. Okay. I want to try and run back into short range of all these people, which hopefully is kind of around here,
Mm-hmm.
and take a pot shot at the one Grunrock was
Sure.
going after. While I run. Nothing. I'm not with the bow today.
You're just getting warmed up.
Maybe, possibly. I'm going to... I don't know if that'll really help that much. I'll just take another shot at him.
Okay. Go ahead.
There we go.
3 successes. My God.
That's
He's not-
a hit.
He's not going to do any dodging while in melee with somebody because it would require him hitting the floor. So, yeah, he's just getting hit. Go ahead. Oh, wait.
Okay.
That's oh yeah,
Done.
there's no damage roll. Sorry. What game? are we
Action
playing?
resolved.
3. Yeah. Oh yeah, that
Okay.
guy's going down.
And I'm done.
He's down. He's gonna stumble backwards and fall over. It was the one next to Grunrock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Grunrock is now not engaged in melee with anybody. He's near distance to the one by Ralgar, and short distance to the other groups. All right. Then we've got fresh round. We're up to the ace here, which is Ralgar. Ralgar, those orcs outside have their blades to the throat of the dwarf dignitary, and they're saying if you don't open the gate, they're gonna cut his throat.
Sorry, Adam reminded me I hadn't been rolling my arrows. So I rolled my 4 shots. I'm good.
I am going to just yell over my shoulder, the time for negotiation is far gone. And I'm going to take a swing at this guy in front of me.
Okay. Go for it.
Is it rolling? Oh, fuck
Oh my
me.
goodness.
Well, not pushing that. ladies
Don't
and
please,
gentlemen.
please don't push that one.
Ralgar melee. Those were brutal rolls. Okay. I'm assuming that'll conclude that turn. So we're on to 3, which is orcs. All right.
I just swing and it just goes way over his head, and I spin in a circle and come back like look
Like
around
all
like,
busy.
what? Oh, okay. I'll get you next time.
This guy's gonna try to disengage from Ralgar so that he can
Hold the lever.
get to the lever. So he's gonna make a move roll here.
Do I roll against him there?
I think it's a flat roll using move
Yeah, he
skill.
just makes a move to see if he can flee.
Yeah, I don't think the defender does anything when somebody's evading out with move.
Yo, well, this is Dungeons and Dragons. I
Oh
get a
wait,
free attack.
Josh, is he taking? Oh, well, I was going to taking a -2 penalty but that's dodge.
Yeah. He tries to get away, and Ralgar is planting himself firmly between the guy and the lever, doing the like back and forth dance and blocking him with his staff, and he can't get around him, and he's like, ah. Is that what type of action is that? I think
Ralgar's still swinging like a tornado. Like this guy's like, I will get you.
Yeah. Let me check what type of action that was to disengage here. It is because there's a retreat, which is if you have an enemy in arm's length. That is move. And then after that, you can like exit the... Okay, so it's called a retreat action. And retreat is what type of action?
A fast
Or
action.
slow? Retreat is fast. Okay. So he's just going to get mad and be like, out of my way! And then he's going to swing at Ralgar. So Ralgar, would you like to dodge, parry, dodge and hit the ground, or none of those because you want to keep all your actions next round?
What would parrying take away from me? Could I still attack next round?
Yes, you just couldn't move. And you would block with your weapon at a -2 if your weapon doesn't have the parry feature. Or no modifier if it does have the parry feature.
Let
He has
me
a
check.
battle
It's a
axe.
melee roll.
Yeah, let me check battle axe.
I feel like Battle Axe maybe doesn't have parry, but I'm not sure.
Battle axe, no, heavy edged and hooked.
Feels like it wouldn't.
Hmm.
So it's a melee roll at a -2, and
-2.
you reduce his successes by however many successes you get, but there's not much other downside if you're not planning to move.
Yeah, I'm not planning to move, so
Yeah, just roll it, see if you get lucky. He's making his attack roll.
melee. Oh no, did you say? Sorry, yeah, you said it's a melee at a -2, right? Yeah, I'm listening. So I'm just gonna take my 2 skill away from that and just roll. Nope, I'm rolling. I'm rolling ones today. I've rolled a lot of ones
You
today.
have rolled a lot of ones.
It's a base damage hit with an orcish great sword for a whopping 3 damage minus any
3.
armor that you have.
I do have 3 armor.
All right, roll your 3 armor. The rest will be damage to strength.
I don't know if anyone is taking note of these wonderful puns that Josh is using every time he rolls dice. But this sorta rude has me like giggling with my microphone off.
All right, your armor is getting badly damaged down to only providing
Adam.
1 protection.
Well, no, that was the melee roll. Adam.
Yeah,
you
I
click
haven't actually
oh,
rolled
my
yet.
bad. I was looking
Just
at
click the
skills.
dice. Yeah.
There's my roll.
Oh, he reduces the damage to 1. Nice.
Nice.
The armor holds, it takes no damage, and Adam only takes 1. You reduced what could have been a critical blow down to just a grazing slice.
Yep.
Very nice armor kicking in and doing its job there. It's been a while since that happened. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Then... Okay, so that guy tries to get around you, and fails to, and then he gets angry and swings at you, and you get a small hit. Meanwhile, the melee is just rolling in there by the by those carts, which I will update in a minute. But in front of these gates, this rabble of angry orcs is all yelling and causing a ruckus, and a big orc with what appears to be a finely crafted shiny sword with a huge scar across his face and half of his nose missing is going to step up, look through the gate, snarl at you, turn around, and make a gesture, and they bring that dwarf up in front of him, and he's just going to take his sword and execute the dwarf. Just straight up chops the head off of the dwarf, holds it up in front of the bars, and then sort of shrugs, gestures at the other orcs, and they all start just marching away in the other direction off into the night while this all plays out in the cave. He lets out a scream right before they do it, and then it's just silenced. As
Ask
the
a
guy's
question?
walking away, he's just going to casually chuck the head back behind him, and it just rolls up to the gate. Yeah.
Did the dwarf's body fall close enough to the gate for Amy to loot it without opening the gate?
The head certainly did. Yeah.
You
so,
act like I won't lift the gate just to loot that body. Loot that body.
they're going to go marching off into the darkness and leave their companions in here fighting. Meanwhile, over here, one of these orcs is going to swing at Veloz. Do you want to dodge parry or none of the above?
I will dodge.
Okay, this orc is actually not swinging a sword at you. He's going to try to bite you. He just opens his big maw, and you just get a blast of foul-smelling orc breath, and he has huge fangs, and he's just going to go, ah, and try to just take a bite out of you.
Dodging is move minus.
It's move -2 if you want to stay on your feet.
It is move
Or
minus.
it's move. Yeah, it's move -2 if you want to stay on your feet. If you're willing to be prone at the start of your next round, then it's just a straight move.
So it's actually move -1 for me because I get a +1 whenever I dodge, thanks to fast work.
Okay.
Fast footwork, level
Sounds
2.
good.
So
So you're doing that?
Yep.
So, okay. Go ahead and make a move at a -1.
3 successes. Best of luck.
Totally avoided it. And we are...
Grunrock.
I gotta make some
What
rolls for
else
those
is
other...
Orcs. Oh, I don't.
I'm gonna make some quick-
NPCs.
Honestly, I forgot about the rest of them.
One sec. Both of your dwarf friends are just parrying attacks left and right. Neither of them took any damage. They both successfully parried all of it. And we are on to 4. Grunrock, you up.
I'm going to move up and attack the orc that's kind of in skirmish with Ralgar.
Okay.
Get him.
Ooh, 2 successes on the artifact dice.
Okay.
You
He'll
need
try
to
to
repair
parry.
your scimitar.
Oh, yeah, that's a skull on the gear die, right?
He didn't push though.
Does that only kick on a push? I think it only...
I-
Yeah, we looked
I
this up
think it
last
does. Yeah.
time. He reduces it to 1 hit, so that is base damage.
2,
I'll dump a willpower and make it
3.
3.
Okay, so he's down to
You don't
near
need
death.
to dump a willpower. Because if I hit him, I'm gonna get him. If I hit,
Oh,
I'll
wait, I
get-
forgot to do the armor for them. Here we go.
Oh,
Okay, never mind. Armor didn't do anything. Yeah. The willpower will put him at near death. The not willpower will put him at just injured. It's up to you. Hank's call.
I'll go ahead and use it. It's fine.
Okay. We're on 5, which is
Me.
Velas.
I'm gonna stab the guy in front of me.
Stabby stab.
He tried to bite me.
He did.
That was not cool.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. She on X Games mode.
4 successes. He tried to bite me, and I like stabbed him in the throat.
Ugh.
Reduces it by 1, but that will be triple success. That's gonna take him down. He's down. He was already injured too. He's very dead. Phantom dagger.
How's your empathy, Amy?
Losing
It's
empathy,
down to
maybe.
1, and I'm gonna black smoke forming at my eyes. Take a step towards this other one, and I'm gonna stab it.
Oh, okay. It's gonna be this kind of day.
2 successes.
He'll try to parry. 1 success. So it's gonna be base damage.
2.
Okay. Oops. I keep clicking that wrong button because it highlights weird. Okay. Yeah, you injured that guy. And then we are on to 9, which is
The dwarves.
The dwarves, yeah. Arvia kills both her orcs. She's taking 2 attacks. One of them finishes off both orcs parry partially, but the first attack finishes off its orc, and the other attack kills an orc outright. She's just going to town. She is like a crazy warrior and takes out 2 orcs single-handed. Your friend Lupendus here. Is having a bad time. He's struggling. His hands are shaking a bit. He's a little bit over the hill, and
He's freaked out because
Frazzled.
there's black smoke pouring around my
he's
eyes.
distracted. Yeah. All right. Vergello.
I'm gonna take a shot at the one that Lupendus is
Okay.
in combat with.
Go for it.
That's
Alright.
2 successes.
That will do how much damage?
2.
Reduced. That's
By
gonna
1.
do 1, which it means he's still up, but near death. Doesn't quite take him out.
All right.
All right.
I got one more shot.
Mm-hmm.
I will shoot at the same one again.
Okay.
1 hit.
All right.
Armor.
Yep. No. Now he goes down.
Yeah. Let me roll my arrows.
Okay. You go ahead and do that while we move forward. We're back around to the ace. I believe.
Yeah, we are.
You up,
All
Ralgar?
right. Time to finish this mother orker off. So
Finish him.
here we go. We are gonna roll our battle axe. Come on, no whammies. 2 successes.
Yeah.
All right.
Roll armor against that. Watch him get 2 6s here.
One 6.
So I do base damage, which is 2. Should finish him off.
He down. That is all the orcs, friends.
Woo.
Arvia and Lupendus are looking around, kicking over the orc bodies. Arvia looks them over and goes, Iser. Ugh. The worst. Savages. And she turns to Velas and she's like, lucky that one didn't bite you. I hear they've got venom. And then she rolls over and starts patting them down, searching them over.
I am as well.
The
I'm
Dwellers
already
oozed into a crack, like right when the fight broke out, and they are popping their heads out, going,
I give him a thumbs up and hope that's not a rude gesture in their sign language.
So yeah, Lupendus is going to go over towards the grate, and he's gonna look outside and just shake his head and go, poor boy, just a fool, nothing but a fool.
I don't know why someone would trust a bunch of spiky armored orcs. That doesn't sound like a peace envoy.
Who knows? But the worst ones you can trust are the Iser orcs. Pure savages through and through. Hateful bunch, those. But
Through and through.
he was just too trusting, I suppose.
Yeah, but what was in it for them? What were they trying to do?
I'm gonna open up the gate and see if he's got anything on him.
Oh yeah, I was already on my way.
Too bad you were looting all the other bodies.
He has a bunch of trail rations, and he has a signet ring that will identify him.
Yeah, I'll grab that.
He came up here unarmed and carrying nothing on him but food and his fine clothes, which are stained with mud, and he was wearing a signet ring that identifies him. That's all he had on his person. He clearly didn't come up here expecting a fight.
Yeah. Alright, I throw a signet ring in my pack just to hold on to it so we can show his family.
Arvia says they are not going to be happy, but what can you do?
I pull out my water skin and I'm just like,
Just chugging.
Arvia says, did anybody get a good look at the leader?
Ugly.
I say I did.
Yeah, y'all are the closest.
I forget the description, but I did see him, and you described him, so I'm going to recount that description.
He had a horrifically scarred face and half of his nose missing.
That.
And a very shiny sword. She's like, it's all right. We'll get him later. Let's keep moving. We have a sacred task to do. And she's just going to go back to marching like nothing happened. Lupendus is looking, and he's looking at the body, and he's like, such a shame. It shouldn't be a young man like that with all the trust in the world in his eyes. It should be an old one like me with no value left to offer.
Come on, Lupendus. There will be plenty of opportunities down here to give your life in honor of your clan, I guess.
I sure hope so. And he goes marching off towards the sleds.
Was there any loot or anything noteworthy on these goblin bodies or orc bodies?
Orcs.
Orc bodies.
Let's see here.
On these goblin bodies digging through Grunrock's pack.
I drag Lupendus's corpse inside the gate before we
You
close the
mean
gate again.
They all have
on the ball.
two-handed swords, studded leather armor,
Yeah,
and closed
no,
helmets. And between them, you can get random scraps of copper coins. It'll be... Let me see. If you go around searching it up, you'll get 52 copper coins between all of them.
Dang.
Woo!
That's some good loot.
And
Anyone's armor damaged that they want to just pull one off the corpse of the orc? All right, cool.
they all
Nah,
have
my armor's good.
they all have closed helmets, and yeah, leather armor that smells like orc. And yeah, bunch of two-handed swords, which are valuable but also pretty heavy.
Let's just leave them here. We can pick them up on the way back when the sleds are empty.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
That'll do
Sounds
it for
good to
me.
me.
All right, want to head on deeper?
Yeah.
All right.
What time of the day are we at now?
Yeah.
You gonna make camp anytime soon?
Let's see. You set out in the morning. You had rested after the banquet, so this is all still morning time.
Okay. Is this going to be like a trek that takes days? I mean, we packed up food and stuff. I wasn't sure. Okay. Well, I didn't know if like that was the vibe of like
They
might be
packed a
days
lot of
or
food and
something.
water for you,
Okay.
so there's an implication that it might be a pretty long way.
All right.
But you
Oh yeah,
haven't
they said we have
actually
to go through
discussed it
like
with
tons of
anybody.
old settlements.
Mhm.
I have a feeling we're going deep beneath all the past dwarven civilizations into the earth.
Mm.
Yeah, so this is kind of a summary map. I'm gonna reveal a bit here. You go down through several chambers. Oops. Please hold. All right. Good old Stonegarden. Yeah, as you work your way downwards, the silence just builds. It's as if the mountain itself is observing your descent. There we go. It is as if the mountain itself is observing your intrusion. I like that wording. The air here has lain undisturbed for who knows how long. And it feels as though the very air, as you descend your way downwards, only unwillingly allows you to draw it into your throat. You go down steps and steps and steps and steps and steps covered in thicker and thicker dust as you make your way down into the mountain, and it becomes very difficult to track how far you have covered. You're quickly losing your perspective. At some point, things level out at the base of a staircase, and you come upon an open chamber, which the dwellers guide you towards, and they're gesturing towards the middle of the chamber as though showing it to you. There is, in the center of this chamber, an ancient bronze lift. And it is suspended above a shaft, and it seems to be operated by a huge wheel set inside the lift. There is a spiral track attached to the lift, and it looks like it will roll and corkscrew its way down into just deep darkness below. The lift platform itself is large enough to allow all of the sleds and your entire party to stand on it at the same time. It's basically like a huge platform on like a mine track that spirals its way down into the darkness. There's also attached to the mechanism of the lift near the top, there's a huge stone tub that's maybe 10 feet across with two big boulders sitting in it. And as you approach the lift, does anybody want to take the lead and walk forwards into this chamber?
Yeah, I'll go with Grunrock.
Relgar and Grunrock, you step forward. One of the Dwelvers steps forward and gestures towards the huge tub with the big boulders inside, and he does this. And he points down into the big chasm.
So, you want us to roll the big rock down into the chasm?
He leans forward, and to your surprise, he goes, "Lift."
Lift that boulder?
Mm-hmm.
Who? Me? Him? Us?
Strong.
Okay, we'll try. Grunrock, any thoughts here?
Lift.
Okay, let's do it.
Arvia's like, I might as well help you. I don't think you're going to be able to do it by yourselves.
Yeah, because it's a giant boulder.
I'm gonna go try and get my little goblin arms underneath it and start
Arvia's
trying
going
to
to
lift.
heave into it with you. If multiple people are willing to contribute, you can get this thing up over the edge of the tub and to the edge of the chasm.
Sure, let's do it.
All right. It's
And
just
I'll watch.
you're pushing and it's rolling and you're pushing and it's rolling and it's taking all three of you straining into it and working, and this huge boulder that's about like 5 feet in diameter reaches the edge and it goes.
I want to look back at the Dwelver and see what, like, if he has any expression on his face. Is this
The
thing
two
just
Dwelvers
hangs
are
off the
grinning
walls?
from ear to ear, and he's like, he says, "Lift now," and he points at the lift with the platform.
Yeah, okay. Hungry though. Okay, let's go.
He nods. The two of them are giggling to each other in amusement and pointing down.
Why do I feel like the jelly dwarf just played a prank on us?
There's gonna be like a dead jelly dwarf all the way at the bottom that didn't know there was a big boulder collapsing on top of him.
I can still hear it falling.
It hasn't made a sound in a long time.
He's got wolf ears. He should be able to hear something a little more than us.
Big old wolfy boy.
All right.
Big old woofy boy.
So does everybody step on the platform?
Yeah.
No, I just stay behind. Yeah, let's go.
The Dwelver is going to point to it and say, "Turn. Turn." At the big wheel.
I'll start pulling on the wheel, trying to turn
It takes
it.
a lot of work, but it starts to budge, and once you get past the initial friction, the wheel starts just spinning on its own, like, wildly. This thing is super dangerous. It's like a huge metal wheel with rungs on it, and if you touched it, it would go flying off. And it is just spinning super fast as this huge platform with everybody on it starts just rolling its way all the way down a long, noisy spiral. As it goes, the dust is getting heavier, the air is getting thicker, you're just descending through God only knows how much cave, hundreds of meters down, until all memory of the surface is just faded. You're like, if we need to get out of here, we are like way under the surface. And eventually this super loud thing just into a platform at the bottom of the spiral that you thought would never end. It took like 10 minutes. And it at the bottom, and the Dwelvers are grinning ear to ear. And
God, I wish my ears would pop. Ugh.
What?
Ugh.
the Dwelver says, "You are not adapted to down here. We can speak now. The air is thick." It's going to get
Well, that's helpful.
more difficult the farther you go. Beautiful. It is nice to be able to speak to you. I am Rangmar, and he points to the other one, and the other one says, and I am Arvi. Welcome to the old ways.
Oh, hello, Rangmar. Hello, Arvi. You already know us because we've been speaking the whole time. But do you have anything to maybe could make it easier for us to breathe down here? Do you have any tricks or tips for us topsiders?
No, now you know how it is to be us on the top side.
That's fair.
You
That's
will-
very fair. Right, guys? Isn't that fair?
Sure.
Perhaps you may even speak less.
Was that like a suggestion, or do you not want me to talk to you anymore?
It is this way. We make we make for the beam layer. Yes, the beam layer. And they just go striding on up ahead. Arvia's looking at all of you like, and Yemen Lupendus is just gonna like, come on, let's keep those sleds moving. Drags him along.
This just got weird. Didn't this just get really weird?
Honestly, the first time I saw
They
the
got-
jelly dwarves, it was weird.
I'm gonna be like, yeah, do you think now that we can understand the jelly dwarves, we can get a proper idea of what's going on down here? Because, no offense, but that king didn't exactly seem like he understood.
Oh yeah, like, are we gonna? Do we have to fight this beast, or could they put it back to sleep? Or I don't understand what's happening.
One of the dwellers turns around and just says, "You come to help," and then keeps walking. As they walk ahead, you realize that the cave is opening out into a huge cavern, supported. It's just, it reaches up multiple stories, up into darkness. Just your torchlight doesn't reach, and this huge cavern appears to be supported by immense pillars of some dull metallic material. The pillars themselves don't entirely run parallel. They branch and split in places, supporting some distant vaulted ceiling that you can't see, almost like architected trees with lots of geometric shapes and carefully crafted angles to them. It is very strange architecture that looks like not a lot that you've seen before. Lupendus just goes, I have a strange feeling about this place. And we're going to end the session right there.
Really, Lupendus? You got a strange feeling about the really thick air, dusty Underdark with the jelly dwarves? That's
Yes.
the strange feeling?
Suddenly it got weird. Just in the
I've
last
never
5
seen
seconds.
metallic trees before.
Yeah, so we are going to do experience. Let me get that. cheese.
If the festival that the dwarves throw don't have like little candied dwarves that are made out of like jelly called jelly dwarves, like that's missed opportunity for
Gummy
the festival.
dwarfs.
They've
Yeah.
gotta have them.
All right. Did you
We're
participate
starting a
in the game
business.
session?
Yeah.
Did you travel through Hex? No. Did you discover a new adventure site? No, because this counts as part of Stonegarden.
Ooh.
Boo. Defeat one or more monsters? No. Treasure worth of gold or more?
The signet ring. Just because we don't intend on selling it doesn't mean it's not worth a gold or more.
I'm actually inclined to give you this one because you got the you were given a bunch of stuff by the dwarves. You also retrieved the signet ring. You got given gold by the dwarves that sent you on the quest. You made money this session, and it was
And stole some
considerable treasure.
silverware.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The 2 gold were worth the gold or more.
It wasn't. I mean, yeah, you got given gold worth of gold or more, and you acquired a lot of stuff. You got like loaded up by the dwarves to go on this expedition. I'm gonna count all
Was
that.
the
in aggregate
silverware I
as an
stole
XP.
worth a gold or more?
Irrelevant. Stronghold, no. Pride. Nobody used pride.
No,
Dark secret.
not mine.
No. No.
Grunrock?
No.
No.
He just hates orcs.
Did you risk
Specifically
your
those
life
ones.
for another player character? There was only the one fight. I don't think there was a particular like heroic moment where somebody charged in to take a huge risk for somebody.
The only argument I would make would be
I
Ralgar
was
running up
thinking-
into close combat.
Yeah, the next thing I was gonna say was Ralgar. However, I think he should get an XP for extraordinary action of some kind, because Ralgar, fearing that orc from under the gate to shut it and close out half of the orc party was pretty awesome.
I'll take it.
I think that should be an XP. It was a clever use of a power to take a lot of pressure off of a difficult encounter, and it was a perfect time to use that spell. I think it counts. And that'll do it.
Woo! Another
Wow.
session with 2 XP,
We gotta get back out into the wilds.
right?
Okay, so that'll conclude it. We will resume here in our descent into the mountains beneath Stonegarden next time. Are we playing?
That's New Year's Day.
It is New Year's Day.
I'm not gonna be able to fit anything in before the 3rd. We got Blades on the 28th, and it's holiday
Yeah.
family time
All right.
between now and then.
How about the 8th? Because I'm doing a game jam the week after that. So we want to do it 3 weeks from today on the 8th.
Sure.
Does that work
I'm
for
fine with
everybody?
Yeah.
Cool. We might
good.
have 3 weeks until the next session, and then 3 weeks to the session after that, because I'm going to be doing a game jam and streaming a bunch of development stuff during that week. So we might have a few weeks of slightly longer gaps between sessions here coming up, because we all have a lot of stuff going on. So still going to keep it moving, but it might be like 3 weeks and then a session, and then 3 weeks and then a session. I'm doing a game jam that I'm going to be streaming stuff for in the middle of January as well. We have Blades going. I'm still setting up for Ars Magica. We're going to do that when Blades tapers down. We're going to do a couple of scores of Blades and then have some slower time on that, where we probably space out the sessions more, and then I'm going to start running some Ars Magica stuff around then, so like late January. So we got Blades, we got this, we got game dev stuff that I'm going to be posting on here, and we got Ars Magica coming up eventually, and just a big backlog of episodes that I'm putting up as fast as I can get them edited and done. I've got a bunch of them half done, so there should be edited versions of episodes of this and Blades popping up in the short term. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night.
Happy holidays.